Good evening, everybody. We are at the midpoint of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Season 1. The Reloaded patch is live. It adds a couple more multiplayer maps, which is honestly going to be the bulk of what we're going to do in tonight's stream. But there's also a brand new Zombies map, and of course, if you load the Zombies map in single player mode, you get a one-time opportunity to see the intro cinematic to the Zombies map. So before I join any Discord voice chats or anything, we're going to take a look at that. So yeah, let's get it loaded in. Citadel de Mort. The Citadel of Death. Oh, they got a boot camp for the Zombies mode. That's great. I definitely need that. That's really good. Cool. But yeah, if we select mission, we go on standard. We'll turn off squad fill and play solo. All right. Let's go.
You were dead. If it were only that simple. Why the fuck is this rat bastard with you? We're looking for a man named Kraft.
Who may know how to bring back Maxis.
Kraft is our prisoner. We were offered millions to find out something only he knows, but he won't talk. Not even to me. And, who are you?
I'm the one who's gonna kill your boss. Is that a problem?
What the fuck are you? I am thinking of doing the same.
This kind of shit happen everywhere you fucking go.
We're in no condition to fight.
Stay on comms. Guide us to Kraft. And try not to kill Peck.
Well, there you go. That's the intro. All right, let's get the game turned back down. I think I normally have it on half. So let me... Yeah, there we go. There's 50. But yeah, like I said, this is probably going to be a multiplayer stream, to be honest. But I'm just going to confirm if we do go, it's not going to do the yeah. And if we go, oh. Oh my God, it does play them again. Okay, well, this is Citadel.
Finally, a good song.
She's with me. Breaking you out was my plan, so you're welcome.
That you sick son of a bitch! You're supposed to be dead.
Relax, Major Carver. All of us here have a common enemy. The guy who locked you up. The guy who stole my life's work. Edward Richtofen. What do you say we find him and kill him?
Let's get out of here.
That wasn't a fucking deal. We're not going anywhere till we find my brother.
Look, it'll take me some time to get their helos filled up, and we do kind of owe it.
Okay, Raptor 1. Go locate the landing pad. Peck, Strauss, hold up in the guard station. I want Richtofen's coordinates. Go to store power, and then locate this woman's brother.
Cool, but yeah, before that, there was one other map that launched with Black Ops 6, Liberty Falls. And hang on, solo. Oh, is that one? That one's not play. That one's not playing. Ah, that's funny. So why did the other two? That's really funny. Oh well, whatever. We got to play 2 of the intros. To be fair, Liberty Falls, we did play it on a previous stream. But yeah, just to confirm, yeah, once you've seen the intros once, in general they do not play again. So I don't know why the Terminus one wanted to. It just wanted to, I guess. But yeah, now that's all that's done, I'm going to again turn down the game to about half. There we go. We're going to head into multiplayer. We're going to head into my stream voice chat. And I'm going to join on somebody's games. Although, what's going on right now? Oh, they're on the new zombies map. Of course they are. Well, alright then. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite Cyber Shadow Dragon. And I want to check out specifically the new content. To be honest. So when I go find match and I go filter, I want to see the new maps. Holiday Nuketown. Yeah. And then the 2 new maps. Yeah, let's do this. Without the tedium. Yeah, let's do this. And again, I'll send another invite. Let's get into the Discord voice chat and get some games underway on the new maps. But yeah, the zombies intro movies thing, it's weird, isn't it? I think they should make it that the intros can play anytime that you start a solo game, and that you just hold the button to skip them. That would be a nice thing. All right, let's check out the new multiplayer maps. multiplayer is what I mainly like to do on Call of Duty. And to be fair, this is probably going to be the last Call of Duty stream that you might see on the channel for a while. Why? Because December the 6th is when Path of Exile 2 Early Access launches. Although actually, I think for me in the UK, it might not launch until 1 AM on the 7th of December. And I'm not staying up till 1 AM if that ends up being true. Just so you all know. Yeah. Let's go to this scene so that I'm not covering up the screen. But yeah, if I'm not playing Path of Exile 2 tomorrow, I'm definitely playing it the day after. And I'm going to be honest, most days, morning and evening after that. I am going to say that, like, every weekend from the 14th of December onwards, though, I don't know whether it's a Saturday or a Sunday yet, but I'm going to be bringing back a streaming schedule with the launch of Path of Exile 2 Early Access, because I'm going to be playing it on stream so much. But yeah, after the opening weekend of the PoE 2 Early Access, I'm going to dedicate at least one of the days of the weekend on an evening. I don't know whether it's Saturday or Sunday yet, as I said. But yeah, we're going to be doing Tekken every weekend, at least once a week, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. GMT. And it's going to be every weekend from then on. Because Yax has done a phenomenal job bringing in, you know, new people. Apparently my my loadouts are all messed up. Great.
Capturing this objective. Zone Alpha captured. Losing Bravo.
Ooh, nice car. Looks to be kind of, it's giving me cyberpunk vibes. Oh man.
Losing A. Capturing this objective. Securing C.
Oh man.
Capturing this objective. Capturing what my Charlie locked down.
All right.
Control Bravo. Expect resistance. Hostile UAV established overhead.
Oh my god, my aim is bad. That's nothing new. Welcome everybody. I wanted to play the new maps.
Bringing in recon.
Taking B. They're taking C. Capturing this objective. Bravo zone secure. We lost Charlie. Taking C.
Oh, nice. Shadow Dragon's coming in. Awesome.
We control zone C.
Cool. To the people lurking there, I wanted to know, is the stream running smooth?
Your skills are obsolete. We're losing Charlie.
I hope so. It looks like it is. Does look like it is. Which is fantastic news.
They're taking C.
Hello.
Hello, CP Skills. You're not who I was expecting to join the voice chat, given that I've got someone joining my game shortly, but hi. How you doing?
I'm just saying hello. It's Tekken World Tour week, essentially.
Oh yeah,
just-
true.
Give me a
Who?
I'm just watching, catching up on what I missed yesterday because I fell asleep while I was watching it.
All right, so the finals they are already going on, and okay, wicked. How's
The
the
first
event?
group's finished.
How's it been so far?
Brilliant.
Have we had any big upsets yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Almost. Arson Ash was getting his ass handed to him. Pun intended.
Huh.
In his group, because all the heavy hitters decided to go in the same group. So you had like Arslan.
When you say decided, I thought they don't
No.
get to choose. It's the organizers
They
that
do.
make the pool.
No. That's a twist of the Tekken World Tour. If you finish top 4 in the global standings, you get to pick what group you go in.
And all the pros want to fight each other. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and in one of the groups, all the top 4 basically wanted to fight each other. So one of the groups is like the group of death. It's like,
Wow.
why would you do this? Like,
I suppose, you know, they want to get it out the way early in the tournament, you know, when they're fresher and stuff. And I guess they know that if they make it out the group, I guess they're thinking smooth sailing to the final, right? Because it's the hard parts out of the way.
Here's the twist, though. All the players in the top 20, so who qualified via the global rankings,
yeah,
they get to choose what group they go into. But the people that finish the top 4, us and Ash and those lot, they can interrupt and say, wait a minute, no. You go in that group, I'm going to go in that group as well. So, for example, let's say me and you qualify via the global rankings, yeah?
right.
And
give me a position. So I'm saying
you're not in the top 4. You're not in the top 4. I am, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you've
I knew
decided,
you'd say it.
and you've decided to go in Group C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it's your turn, I can stop you. Go, wait a minute. You're going in Group C. I'm gonna go in Group C as well. And now you have to go in Group C and face me.
Damn.
So even before the tournament started, there was a whole load of drama
the people
as to
that are
who's gonna
lower
do what.
than top 4 get to say their thing first, and all of the top 4 are aware of what's been said, and then they get to
And
but
they
as
get
it
to
so
choose.
happens, all the top 4 have just chosen to, rather than pick on a bunch of below top 4s, they've all wanted to
They're
go in
picking on
with
each
each
other.
other anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Throughout the seasons, there's been a lot of storylines with people squeaking out wings, and basically everybody just wants their revenge, innit?
Right. Yeah.
It's all come to a head here.
I honestly think the whole reason why the top 4 pretty much unanimously wanted to fight each other, though, I stand by what I said, where they probably want to get what they perceive to be the hard part out the way, and then they think whoever makes it out of that group, they're already thinking that they're probably going to win the whole thing, because they know that not that there isn't going to be tough competition beyond those 4 competitors, but obviously the top 4 are the top 4 for a reason. So
here's a twist though. There's the way Bandai Namco has actually done this Tekken World Tour this year is actually really good, because here's what happens, right?
Yep.
So, as I think you might be aware,
Yep.
if you finish the top 2 in your group,
Yep.
you go through to the top 16 knockout part in winners.
Yep.
If you don't finish top 2, because there's 5 players in each group,
Yep.
the bottom 3 get put into the last chance qualifier tournament.
Right. Yeah.
So they're not completely out. They get put into the last chance qualifier tournament, which starts tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And then,
cool.
And then the top 2 from the last chance qualifier goes into the top 16 in losers.
Right. Yeah. So they have to fight their way up to the final, but they've got a chance, which is really cool.
Yeah. And then you've got the regional places. There's 15 of them. Right?
Okay.
So the regional places, they get put into the losers. I think it's something like the top The top one from the regional places get put into the losers side of the top 16 as well,
Okay.
or something like that. I need to go and look. But basically, my point is, it's a really interesting system once you understand what it actually is, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's even more upsetting is that they have this thing called the Excellent Tekken Festival this year.
Yeah, I heard about that. That
And
sounds. Isn't that just something that's going to be in the fight lounge? Like, what is that?
no, it's not. What it actually is it's actually a big live celebration of Tekken where
Wow.
they've got in the actual venue where the World Finals is, they've got like arcade cabinets all over the place. Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Tekken
Oh my
Tag,
god.
Tekken Tag 2,
Wow.
tournaments, everything. Had they said that in the first place, I might have saved some money and fucked off to Japan. They didn't tell us what it was. They just said Excellent Tekken Festival.
I mean, you know.
Not that I could necessarily do that. Probably wouldn't have the money by the time it came around, but I could try.
I think because they changed like Li Xiaolan's dialogue line, they should have called it the Marvelous Tekken Festival instead. But I do think excellent's better. He should say excellent instead. In my opinion.
That might come at the 35th anniversary. That was joking. Also, everybody's bought these cool jackets. For some reason, every like official tour final has these jackets that you can buy. Like Capcom Pro Tour has one. Tekken always has one every year. Evo started doing it. Like you always get these jackets. Everyone's got these jackets.
Yeah.
It's funny. But yeah, no, it's a really good finals right now.
Nice.
Dragunov is not running over everybody, thankfully.
Interesting, because it's not like he's had. I mean, I know he's had nerfs, but it's not like the big rebalance reset that, of course, is more likely to come at the start of year 2.
No,
so
he's clearly the strongest.
Yeah.
And there is one of the matches where Dragunov Mirror happens between Ulsan and Atif, from Pakistan. And that, funny enough, is a very, very fun and interesting match, right? Because normally mirror matches are just not fun. But that
by the
one,
way,
for some
Shadow
reason,
Dragon,
that
are you in the voice chats? Are you just in the game? Because
he looks like he's in the game because I don't see him.
All right. Because basically what I'm doing, just to reiterate to everybody, we're checking out the brand new multiplayer maps that have been added to Black Ops 6 today, because let's be real, this might be my last Black Ops 6 stream for potentially ages because of a little action RPG called Path of Exile 2 that goes into early access very soon. So I wanted to do at least one more stream of the multiplayers, check out the new stuff. But because it's a multiplayer Call of Duty stream and not a playthrough of a campaign or anything yet, although I will get to the campaign at some point, that is why we're in a voice chat that's just casual. Anybody could drop in. Although, Marcus, this is on Game Pass. You really should just freaking download it, man. It's a good time.
I would, but I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah,
also, Sony's done something very interesting.
Oh yeah.
They've released some like a stripped down Gran Turismo in celebration of the PlayStation 30th anniversary.
Gran Turismo, yes, I will be checking that out on stream as well. A free to play GT.
I've downloaded it, so I will be looking and seeing what exactly that is because I'm somewhat intrigued.
I actually think what I'm expecting is a lot of the content that is in it for free. I actually think is already in the GT7 that you have. You just haven't played much. But having said that, there's probably rewards or cards that are unique to my first GT that. Because I think that, well, they're not unique to my first GT. I think they're all in GT7 as well. But I think by playing my first GT, whatever cars you earn in that, I heard that you can transfer to your GT7 garage, which is nice if true. We're going to check that out.
It is advertised as a sort of entry-level teach you how to play Gran Turismo thing, right?
Yes.
So I'm only really checking it out to see if that's actually what it is.
Okay.
Really.
I will
Because,
say though
as you
that,
said, I have Gran Turismo 7.
and I will say though, here's the thing. While I'm sure that's true and that's great, but the full GT7 can teach you how to play GT as well, because obviously it has the license center. That's exactly what that whole segment of the game is. So I
Yeah, I
really
know,
just think
but
that
you
they've
have-
taken GT7, taken a segment of the content, put it in a free-to-play package that anybody can just download and play, and I think that's awesome. But I'm not
Yeah,
expecting
me too.
much of
But
anything
I
new.
wanna see if that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So that if someone asks me about it and they don't know about racing games like that, I can point them to it, rather than having to spend 70, 80 quid on GT7 or whatever it's gonna cost.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
I think it's a brilliant idea, and I know that Tekken 8's got the demo, but I'd really love if there was a free-to-play version of Tekken as well. To
that
be
is
honest.
never gonna happen because it's Bandai Namco and they've tried
Yeah,
free
the
to play
game's too
twice.
popular. Yeah.
No, but they've tried free to play twice with both Tekken and Soul Calibur and Ridge Racer, and it failed 3 times. All 3 times it flopped. They don't. The problem with free to play in general is that the risk that you're taking as a company is absolutely astronomical, because you're spending billions of dollars upholding servers in the hope that maybe it catches on in the millions and they actually buy something. If people don't buy anything, then you flushed $1 billion down the toilet, literally,
Yeah.
right? And I think Bandai Namco is not after trying it 3 times and then creating a whole new IP that never even got off the ground because it didn't even get people to play, right? I don't think they're gonna bother with free to play fighting games or anything else for that matter for a long time. Blue Protocol was a nail in the coffin, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
I do get what you're saying.
And it's sad because I would like a free to play thing as well. But you know, people just
I just think it's a cool way to get people through the door. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And
know what you
granted,
mean,
I know
yes.
that there's already a lot of people through the door, but like, there can always
No,
be more.
I know what you mean, because there is, in regards to compared to other fighting games, there's a lot of people through the door. But gaming in general, I was
Sure.
talking to Lewis the other day, and he just randomly said, "This is why." I think it was on your stream. This is why you would never get me to play a fighting game. I didn't really hear him properly because Discord kept cutting out. But
Right.
I was like, "Really? Why? Why not? What's wrong with it?" Because chances are, what he thinks is not actually what
Yeah,
fighting games
exactly.
are.
Like I actually think that it's one of those things where, because the thing that makes me laugh, right, is because all my family play Doobie, they have ridiculous hand-eye coordination and reaction time. That is like
Yeah.
S-tier skills for any and all fighting games. It's just like I suppose it's like how you coordinate your hands is just different. So they'll be really rubbish at first, but I truly believe, and you've actually seen it with Alpha in Street Fighter 6. Look how much he learned in that beta weekend of Street Fighter 6. You know?
It's also because Street Fighter 6 is not the hardest fighting game in the world.
Sure,
I think,
but you know,
I
before
think
that, he didn't really play fighters at all. And like,
the
yeah,
the thing about it is, right, is that yes, reactions help, but in fighting games, they don't take you anywhere near as far as they do in FPSs.
sure.
FPSs, if you have the reflexes and you have the hand-eye coordination, that's like, respectfully, and I don't mean any disrespect at all because they're great games, that is like 60% of the battle. Whereas in
Sure.
fighting games, that's like 20% if you're lucky. The rest of it is you have to actually sit down and play the game and get to know these moves interact with these moves. What do people tend to do? Because you're battling majority of the time against another person. With a shooting game, yes, other people are playing against each other, but half the time when you shoot someone, they don't even know you're there. So it's more about map knowledge and skillful movement and gun knowledge, which is a lot because there's lots of guns. but it's not the same sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I feel like the fear that a lot of people have with fighting games is similar to my fear of FPSs when they started changing the camera from face buttons to the right stick. Because
Oh,
as soon as they
wow.
started doing that in early 2000, I was like, I can't play these games anymore. Like, they've literally physically removed me for I can't play them. The only reason why I bothered with Halo is because it came with my Xbox, and it just so happens that I actually enjoyed the story so much that it didn't matter that I can't play against people. That was it. And now FPSs basically don't have a story. They have a campaign similar to what fighting game arcade mode is, which is hilarious considering the fact that people always moan about fighting games not having any single player content.
I mean, I
I'm like,
still haven't played it yet, but a lot of people have said that the Black Ops 6 campaign is the best one in years. I know that Diesel
yeah, but
Dave's
what are they
played through
comparing it to?
Recent Call of Duties.
Exactly. They're not going to be comparing it to the Medal of Honor, the proper single player experiences that we know about that we were playing from years ago.
I mean,
Because they've been
I've played. Granted, I haven't, like I said, I haven't played this year's Call of Duty campaign yet. I absolutely plan to, but like, I have played all the recent Modern Warfare like remake trilogy campaigns. I did enjoy all three.
saying they're bad.
I do think they are good. But I mean, I suppose it depends what you look for in a campaign. One of my personal favorite FPS campaigns is actually Killzone Shadowfall, because you're put in very open levels. It's not an open world game by any means, right? But each of the missions where you know, where the open levels take place, right? You normally have multiple objectives, right? But you can decide what order you do.
You're making two different. I hear you, but you're making two different points. The point that I'm making is what we call campaigns now is not what they were doing back in the days of Resistance and Resistance 2. And that's what I'm saying. In the days of Resistance and Resistance 2, even though I can't play an FPS to save my life, buying hello. I'll shut up in a minute. 1 second.
I think somebody joined, but I don't know.
I think it's Shadow Dragon. Shadow Dragon, I think.
Okay, cool.
Hang on.
Oh my god.
Because I can see my phone. In the days of Resistance, Fall of Man, and Halo and stuff like that, yeah, it is Shadow Dragon, right?
Cool.
I could buy those games and enjoy them because there was enough in the single player to where I didn't have to play multiplayer, because I can't play multiplayer, because as soon as they mapped everything to the right stick, they basically removed me from the game. Now you can't do that because everything is focused on multiplayer. So the campaign, yeah, it's all well and good for about 4 hours, but then that's it, you're done. I'm not saying that it's bad.
I'm pretty sure, again, I haven't played it yet, but I think unless you're a speedrunner, you ain't finishing Black Ops 6's campaign in 4 hours. I know it took Dave.
The point
I
I'm
do
making
see your
is
point though, but yeah, like
the single player today is not remotely comparable to what they were doing back in like Halo 1 or 2 or Resistance Fall of Man. And the reason why is because multiplayer is just that much more popular. So they spend more time on it. It's just like fighting games. That's why. So I don't knock the idea of why they've done it like that. It makes perfect sense. If I owned a video game development company and we're making an FPS, I'd probably do the same thing. But that means someone like me doesn't get as much out of it.
I mean, it's included in your Game Pass membership that you're already paying for anyway. So it's one of those things where, you know how you said you played Halo's campaign because it was included with your Xbox? You essentially have that as an Xbox customer. So I don't know, man.
True.
Like,
it's
I
true.
almost feel like
at the time,
you should.
But at the time, hold on. When I got my Xbox, I had 4 games. One of them happened to be Halo. I've got Game Pass. There's like 300 plus.
Fair, but it's like, Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, like, and I'm just gonna be honest about it. I don't think it's entirely fair to critique something that you haven't even played. And sure, Call of Duty's earned a reputation of like shorter campaigns and things. I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but it's like even with me, whenever I try and make
Andy,
a point
Andy,
about the
Andy.
Black Ops 6 campaign, how many times have I already said I haven't played it yet, but I plan to? And until I've played it, I can't really judge it. And I don't think anyone else that hasn't played
Andy,
it
you're
can
talking,
either.
you're talking, you're talking, you're talking. I can't physically play the game. I've seen the campaign and I can't physically play in the game. So how much am I going to get out of it? And again, there's 300 other things that I can play on Game Pass. I might still try it, but I can't physically play the game because they put everything on the right stick and then forgot about people like me because there's not enough of people like me. I don't care.
I am just going to show everybody the control assist settings for aiming. There's a whole tab of settings here that might help, but you have to experiment with it, man. Like,
what settings? Can I put the camera on the face buttons?
I'll have a look. Aiming set look inversion. There's actually quite a lot here, at least. I'm looking. Edit layout. Yes, you can. Right, hang on a minute. So you're on about. Let's have a look at the stick thing.
Basically, up, down, left, right could be the face buttons.
It's loading a match, but I'll load up the options again. But it basically had every button of the controller. I need to see if there's move camera up, move camera down. But the thing with that though, you also might need to jump and crouch. So what? You want to flick the analog stick for that stuff? Is that what you're telling me? Because like that's the thing.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on what the control system is.
Nice.
It depends on what the control system is. But I need a way that doesn't involve me having to have fine control movement on my right hand, because too much of the game involves me having to do that so that I can actually play it.
I think
it's okay when it's
simple. I mean, again, I'll have a look again when I'm not in a match, and you know, it's not gonna pull me away from the screen. But like, what's more likely, right? Because I know the kind of trend that modern FPSs have been going, that have been improving in their accessibility for disabled people. What is more likely than you being able to control the camera with face buttons is that your aim will automatically kind of home in and snap on whatever you need to shoot, so you don't need to move the camera as much anyway. Am I making sense? Like,
you are making sense, but I still have to use the right stick.
No, depending on. I haven't tried, obviously, the kind of auto-aimy thing, but what if it ends up being so good that I can literally just... The game is playable just walking with left stick. It could be... I'm not saying that's how it is, but I'm saying that it might be possible. And at that point, you've removed the need to touch the right stick anyway, so you'd be fine.
Try it at that point, but you'd have to see. The bottom line is, I realized in the early 2000s that due to the controls moving that they were, I basically can't play the game anymore. And that's just what it was. And that's why I kind of stopped doing it. Now, the exception was Halo, because the campaign and the story mode was good enough to where I was drawn into that anyway. And because the enemies were not dumb, but they don't exactly move like human beings, you know what I mean? So you could kind of, and you could hide behind
things. I will say as well, like Halo 2 didn't have any of the aim assist that this game does. So I am like, how did you manage to...
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I am. You said the enemies are dumb, but like, I'd still be surprised.
I'm not playing people. You can hide behind things, and they were doing dumb shit. So you can shoot them without having to move around with them. I found ways. You can't do that with modern shooting games, because modern shooting games basically have, in comparison, a minuscule campaign, and then a lot of it is focused on multiplayer with people who are actually extremely good at the game. So you have to be skilled in order to have any real fun out of it.
I
And
can
that's the
confirm
issue
you
facing
play
both.
no
Hold
people
on,
in the
hold on.
campaign.
You didn't listen to what I said. This is the
I
problem.
did listen
You
to
don't
what you
listen.
said,
No,
right?
you didn't. No, you
said,
didn't. Addy, stop talking.
said, and I
What I
quote,
said was, because everything is focused on multiplayer now, you end up playing people who are really, really good in the multiplayer because that's the meat of the game. And then someone like me essentially just doesn't get to play because they can't, right? And I was gonna say this is similar to what happens in fighting games. Yeah, people want to play single player so they can get used to it, right? Non-disabled people, so they can get used to it, and then maybe they jump online. Most don't because they know they're gonna run into yaks and me, right? And then they get
sure.
run over, and then they feel like they're not having any fun. I understand that because that's the same thing that happens to me in FPSs. That's why I don't buy them. That's why I don't play them because I physically
Everyone's got
can't.
their own preference on what they want to play and not play.
Yeah,
I
but in
mean-
this case though, Dragon, I physically can't play them because of what they've done. So I just
Yeah.
don't. That's it.
The thing is, and I know this for like actual fact because I can look up what you play. It has been many years, maybe even over a decade.
You
Since
can't look
you
up
have
what I play
tried-
because you can only look at what I play on PlayStation.
I have,
And I have more
the
than PlayStation.
Xbox app, and I can go to your Xbox. We're friends on Xbox. I can look at what you play, and you have not
Yeah.
played. And for the reasons you've quite rightly pointed out. But the point is, it has been probably over 10 years or more. I don't know the exact number since you have tried one of these games. Even
I don't know why you're
regardless
arguing with
of
me.
that,
I can't
I'm not-
understand
I
what
can't
you're
see what
arguing
he's
with.
trying to argue.
I'm not
hard about
arguing.
this.
I'm not arguing. We're having a discussion. But like secondary to that, though, I'm really bad at these games. Really bad. I have 7 kills, 16 deaths. Here's the thing about that. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
That's
Like-
new. I like being able to get better at something and actually get better at it. That's
Because
why
I
when I
haven't
get
got better. Like in 2012, I wouldn't even be getting 3 kills, let alone 7. I have improved. Like it can happen, but like anything in life, as you would tell me with fighting games, you only get better by just repeated attempts at playing. Now, granted,
Yeah,
like
but
you
the
said,
difference-
there's a million of other things out there, you know. So yeah, you
The
probably
difference
wouldn't
is-
anyway, but.
The
You
difference
know.
is you can physically play Tekken. You can physically do everything that you need to do in Tekken. You just don't want to put the work in as much as me or a Yax. Yeah, you want to play a variety of games, and that's fine. I physically cannot do what needs to be done in order to get better in an FPS because of the control systems. That is that's what I'm trying to get to you.
You use
Fundamentally,
the right stick in 2K though, right? And you have to be quick with that.
no, you don't. I use the plays more often, and I'm passing the ball more often. I don't use the right stick that much.
No, but you can.
You don't actually have to.
Yeah, I
No,
think
no,
this
you
game
can,
is
but
the
you
only
don't
game where
actually
you
have to.
use the right stick the most. Most games don't rely on it, so you've got out of the habit of using it.
Yeah, because to the degree that you have to do it in an FPS, I cannot do that. 2K, if you understand basketball well enough, you can get away with not actually doing the right stick movements too much because it involves more team play and passing around anyway and knowing your matchups and stuff. So you don't actually have to use the right stick that much. Most people do like
Well,
to
it's the
cheese
same
the
with
game.
any game. If you know ways around it, you can find
Yeah,
quicker
I
ways
mean-
of doing things.
Cause here's the only reason why I scratch my head, man, is I've seen your hands. They're pretty normal. And besides the thing that you were trying to tell me the other day of like
Muscle memory is
the
what
way
we're on
that you
about more than
do,
anything.
it's kind of claw but not really claw when you're playing fighting game. You know, the thing that I couldn't physically do. It's like, what, has your hand like got worse or something? Did you twist it 720
No,
degrees?
claw is a type of way of holding.
It's
I,
not- it's
I,
not- it's
I
not-
know
it's
what
not-
claw is.
It's not Shadow Dragon. It's not claw. he just doesn't understand what I'm saying.
No, I
Right?
do. But
It's my hand. Shush. My hand sits on top of the controller. Yeah, and because when my hand sits on top of the controller where R1 and R2 is, my thumb naturally goes over the X and the triangle button. Yeah. So what I was trying to explain to him is that because my thumb is already naturally over those buttons, it's not hard to do 1+2 or 3+4 in Tekken terms. That's square and triangle, or the other two, because of how small the controller is and how your thumb naturally sits. The way Andy holds a controller is the way the average person holds a controller, which would normally be fine if we didn't have cerebral palsy and we could actually hit buttons very fast. He can't do that, like me. I can't do that. So what happens is his thumb ends up sitting in the middle of the face buttons, and then he can't reach certain things. Right? Whereas I figured out years ago that if I lift my hand on top of the controller, I can reach all four face buttons very quickly and do what I need to do. That's the difference. And I was trying to
So you
explain that
found
to
an
Andy, but he
alternative
hasn't
way
done
of
it.
doing what normal people can normally do, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that I hold
well,
the
everyone
controller,
finds
as you said,
alternatives.
it's like, you know, like how people typically do. Obviously, that
Yeah.
helps a lot with FPSs because your thumbs are directly on both sticks. So
Yeah.
the whole
But
thing
I don't
of
have the fine motor
Muscle
control to
memory.
actually move the right stick the way it needs to. I don't have the fine motor skills to do that in my right thumb. Luckily, face buttons is just pressing a button. If I actually had to move the buttons left, right, up, down in a 360 thingy, then I might have a problem. But because it's just a button, I can kind of do it.
thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate that. This is one of those streams where, like, because it's just multiplayer, what I typically do is I let my closest friends come into the Discord voice chat and we end up talking about all kinds of stuff. In this case,
All kinds of
it's been-
stuff. Normally
yeah,
it's tech,
Yeah. And
which is normally a conversation that I can't get in because I'm not the biggest geek like Andy and possibly Shadow Dragon.
oh,
But
thanks, man.
this one
What about
this
me?
one I can take part in because obviously I'm disabled.
As am I, and you know, but yeah, it's. I mean, this is the thing, man. Like, yeah, I suppose if you've never even really had, like, if you don't have the desire to play, then it's sort of fair enough. But it's one of those things where, like, because I used to be absolutely abysmal. I'm still bad. I'm bad now, but I used to be abysmal. And I don't know, forgive me, but I
It's
can't
practice more than
help but
anything.
want to feel like a glass half full kind of thing here, where it's like, I wouldn't
Glass half
say,
empty.
I wouldn't
I think
say
you mean
that,
glass half empty.
I wouldn't say that, like, you have literally no chance because and the reason why I can sort of say that is because of my own experience over the last 12 years playing this game as casually as I have. Because despite what the Boost Gang will say, I am not a gooby streamer.
We make fun of him for that all the time. Andy
All
talks as
the
if I haven't
time.
seen him play. Andy, he talks as if I don't watch his streams when he's playing. I know how you play, right? I'm
11
looking at that.
11
I'm looking at that
kills,
and I'm like,
36 deaths. So yeah, I'm not good. I was bottom of the team, but I'm used to being at the bottom.
I'm not watching now, obviously, watching Tekken World Tour, but
Sure.
yeah, like, yeah, no,
So the
I'm
new
sure
follower of the certain someone just it's actually a friend of mine.
you've gone robot-y, Shadow Dragon.
Oh, sorry, my connection dying.
I can kind of hear you. It's not
I,
too
I
bad.
was I was wondering, like, how is the smoothness of the stream on my side? Like, Shadow Dragon went robot-y for me too. The reason why I ask is because I know that my Mac will still be backing up files in the background to my iCloud account. Yes,
I
it's
can-
still
I
not
can-
finished.
I can
Yeah,
check it.
you're sounding a bit roboty to me now.
Oh really? Oh,
But you did for
hopefully,
a second.
hopefully it stabilizes.
But yeah,
Right, your stream sounds okay through my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah. The bit
it might just be
rate.
Discord.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Twitch bitrate is not currently green, but So that might explain a bit of whatever's
You
going
sound
on.
alright. Both of you sound alright now. Actually, to me.
Actually, yeah. Let's look into what we were talking about a little bit. So hang on, controller settings. Let's actually look at everything available here because there is a lot. There's a lot. I want to have a look at what's possible.
I mean, the bottom line is Halo kind of benefited from the fact that I only had 4 games, and that happened to be one of them. And I thought, fuck it.
Aiming
And then
advanced settings. Well, let's see how advanced these aiming advanced settings really are.
It's just changing the gradients and things like that. I think what he's referring to more than anything is about like being able to remap the buttons to do what he wants without having to do it the way we do it.
So we have, we got target aim assist, helps the aiming by slowing the camera movement and aim sensitivity when a target is close to the crosshair. Moving your aim will pull the crosshair towards targets that are closer. We've got.
Right, so one more sprint after fire, and then I need another
Custom
less than
sensitivity
20
per
hit
zoom.
fires.
Okay, no.
Turn off rapid fire.
Let's have a look at the
Should be
button
watching
layout.
this.
Steady aim laser, yeah, that'll be better.
Sight. It is not looking.
Oh, you can
like-
edit the buttons at least, but
Yeah,
you can't
can
edit the sticks.
buttons, but yeah, you can't.
You can flip some of the control settings, I know that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait,
hold
stick
on.
and move. Hang on.
Yeah, you got Southpaw, Legacy. They're all basically just flipping.
What's stick and move? Puts melee on X. Jump. Oh god, that's weird. That is very weird. Wow. So that's
so Brawler has lethal
jump.
equipment on the right stick. Interesting. I've never looked into any of these.
I mean, you don't need to hold up your whole stream for the sake of me possibly playing this game.
Yeah,
like,
we
can-
do.
I'll
the thing
look.
is,
I'll
right,
look it up later.
that was, and to be fair, right, it might have sounded like it a bit because we're both two people that like to finish their sentences before the other person speaks, and like that just but anyway, it wasn't so much of an argument as to like that whole debate just made me curious, man. It's like I had to then know, and yeah, it's not looking like you can do like a 90s shooter thing of make face buttons move the aim. But just because the game can't, I mean, there's a whole charity that exists called Special Effect that's all about like, oh, if you wanted to play something and you needed even custom hardware to do it, that's their whole MO. That's why they exist. So
yeah,
but
So
I just know you don't want to play it that bad though. But like they help out mutual friends of ours like Faye, right? Who's recently upgraded to a PS5. So she's gonna get the official PlayStation Access controller that Sony came out with, but she's getting it through Special Effects. I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning that because of course
That thing looks weird.
Yeah, but
you
it
mean
lets
because
her-
it looks different to a standard controller?
Sure, but what
I was trying to figure out how you use it.
I can
It's
kind
like
of
that.
tell you. So like
Go on then.
the little sockets that are all around it are similar to the sockets that are on Xbox's accessibility controller as well, right? That socket, while I can't remember the name of it, is like an industry standard thing for joysticks and what's called jelly bean buttons. So you can get joysticks and jelly bean buttons, you know, for various access needs. For example, you can use buttons on. I've seen those kinds of buttons on wheelchairs for people that can only move their head a little bit. Maybe, you know, donking their head onto the button if it's positioned on their
I've seen
headrest
that.
will let them go from drive to adjust your seat and stuff. Well, those kind of buttons, you have the right kind of socket on them, on the plug, where like they plug straight into the PlayStation Access controller.
I've just figured out. I've just figured out exactly. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking out loud. I'll let you finish.
That's fine.
I've just figured out exactly what I need to have basically.
Yeah.
If they would let me, you know what? Because what do you normally use the face buttons for nowadays? What are they for?
Do you mean on a shooter or in general?
On a shooter, what do you use them for now?
X is jump, square is reload, although you don't have to do that one. If you shot your weapon to where you had no bullets left,
it does automatically?
Reload automatically, yes.
Yeah,
so X
okay.
is jump, circle is to crouch down. If you hold it, you will lay down. And triangle is to swap weapon. But to be honest, I'm not always doing that either. Like most of the time,
if they could let me switch that around, so the face buttons on the camera, and I can use right stick like up, down, left, and right to do all of that stuff, then I could probably play it.
Right. Well,
that's all I need them to do.
Even if the game can't, you know what I want to check next. I've got a DualSense Edge. I'm gonna see if the system can do it. Because if the system
was going to be my
it,
suggestion as well, but I was also thinking out loud, if it's like a PC like game, couldn't that DS4 also do the same thing, where you can remap the controls?
See, what you could do on PC, because he has a PC. What he has a PC. There's a really
that
brilliant
software will then
piece
reroute all the buttons, I'm guessing.
Yeah. There's a fantastic piece of software called Joy to Key, which if you contact the devs and say you're disabled, they'll let you have it for free. And what it allows you to do is to take keyboard and mouse input and map it to a joypad. And obviously there is move your aim up, move your aim down, move your aim left, move your aim right. You might be able to use Joy to Key for that. I don't know because I haven't tried it, but I could try it.
Why don't you get in contact with them and ask them the question?
Again, I'll probably fire up. If people really wanted me to look into this, I would just fire up Mum's laptop because it is a Windows application, and I'd look into it. What I used to use Joy to Key for, because I am someone that used it previously. Marcus, you know Killer Instinct 2013? You know before
I actually find difficult to play.
You know before it came to Steam, it only had the Windows Store version, right? That was like for the Xbox One and Windows 10.
I've only ever
Well, that Windows Store version did not support PlayStation 4 fight sticks on PC. So what I did to get my Real Arcade Pro recognized on KI was, well, KI on PC had keyboard controls, right? So what I did was I used the Joy to Key software and I mapped keyboard keys to my arcade stick. So even with the joypad, so I think S was like down, to crouch. So when I moved the stick, flicked down on the arcade stick, the game KI was reading me holding down the S key all the time. D would have been forward, and then A would have been walk backwards. So, and because arcade, fighting games, it's not like an analog.
What would be the natural inputs, but inverting them basically to a different location, like key binding.
Well, obviously, fighting games, with arcade sticks and stuff, they don't need it's not like an analog stick. It's like you're either holding down or you're not. You're holding back or you're not. It's a analog thing rather than a digital thing. You know what I mean?
Which is
Which is why Joy to Key worked, whereas Joy to Key wouldn't work for something that needed more fine-grained movement. Because let's say for a racing game accelerator, you can half press it or anything. You see what I mean? So it worked for my fighting game, but But
so
still,
there's a fine niche for this software, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it was great for me because what it meant in the case of I didn't have to go out and buy an Xbox arcade stick because Joy to Key allowed me to use my my arcade stick to control my keyboard, and then the keyboard controlled KI.
So you got the same function
Like,
as what would have been on the
Oh.
Xbox version, but without having to buy one.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And I thought it was a really cool use of the software. And again, the software is kind of free to try, but it does like have a price tag. But it's one of those software with like, because it can be used to grant access to games for people that are disabled, you can write to them and say you're disabled, and then you won't have to pay the fee to keep it. So yeah.
Yeah, I just had I have an Xbox stick, so I just use that. But
Sure.
yeah,
It's a good
Killer
way
Instinct,
around it, though.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Killer Instinct is another game that actually I find surprisingly difficult. Probably why I don't play it as much. So with that one, it's more to do with mechanics, right? So they have a mechanic whereby
Yeah.
I'm just telling Shadow
Oh, sure.
Dragon,
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah.
yeah. So it has a mechanic whereby you're in a combo and you can break the combo. And it's normally something like you have to press a light button sorry, let me start again. You have to press the 2 light buttons so you have 3 light buttons and 3 medium buttons. What am I talking about? Let me start again.
No.
So,
You've got 2
3
light
punches,
buttons,
3
2
kicks.
medium, 2 heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting nuts here 'cause I'm thinking about like 100 different things. 3 punches, 3 kicks.
I was
Light,
going to
medium,
say,
heavy.
don't confuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 punches, 3 kicks, light, medium, heavy, right?
Yeah.
To break something, you have to press the 2 lights at the right time,
Or the
or
2
the
mediums.
2 mediums, or the 2 heavies, depending on what your opponent does, right? Because they have these things called auto doubles that link the combos together. Okay. Now, there's another mechanic that is specifically in Killer Instinct 2013, where if they do a combo breaker, so you've done a combo on them, they do a combo breaker, and then you can then read that, anticipate that, and do what's called a counter breaker, which is you press the same 2 buttons that they were pressing to do their combo breaker.
Yeah.
Now, the issue that I have is because I can't press buttons very quickly, right? I have to come up with very interesting ways in order to tap a button more than once. Now, there are certain situations where I might do a shadow move that hits Shadow Dragon, shadow moves, that hits 6 times.
It's a fighting game with shadow moves, yep.
And they might quickly try and break with 3 of the first hits and it goes 1, 2, 3. I can't do that fast enough to actually be able to do that. So what it does is
I
it
find
puts
that
me,
really interesting because I've always thought your reactions are really good, man.
Oh, it's not reactions, it's my fingers spasm. So mentally I can react to it, but I can't let go of the buttons fast enough to actually do it. That's the problem. The only reason I'm actually able to do some of the stuff you see me doing in fighting games a lot of the time is because I've figured out some weird way to get around the problem. So
you've worked out a workaround to these issues.
Yeah, I haven't found a workaround for KA
we're
yet.
disabled people. We all have like, things like that.
Something I don't think Andy does, because I don't think he's thought about it too much because he didn't have to, or because he just didn't play those characters, is in Tekken, okay, Kazuya has a string called Flash Punch combo. Yeah? And this is basically Shadow Dragon. It's basically square, square, triangle. Yeah? So you just press square, square, triangle.
Oh yeah, I know it.
The thing is, of course you do. The thing is, you have to press the square, square very fast. Yeah? Otherwise it doesn't come out.
Yep.
I physically cannot do that. Like I can't hold the controller and go square, square with my thumb. Right?
I didn't know that.
So
like, you're making me want to load up the game now and see if I can do it now. I don't know, but this is a Gooby stream. I'm not a Gooby streamer, but this is a Gooby stream. I'm not loading up to look yet.
This is what I was saying. Some strings in Tekken, they don't require you to press the same button as fast. So I can just do it by pressing that button twice, yeah? But a Flash Punch combo in particular, I can't press the square buttons fast enough to get the first 2 hits. I have a almost similar but not as bad problem with Lydia's 2-2. I can just about press it fast enough for the
Lydia's got
2-2
a
to come out.
4-4 thing that I can't do. I don't know whether
Yeah.
she's still got it, but she had it in 7. And I think it's because of the physical position of 4, aka circle.
Yeah.
AKA
It's on the
B.
right hand side, yeah.
Yeah. I can't press that button. I can press square or 1 faster than I can press 4. But if you think
Because of
about
the
how I
nature of
hold
your
the
hand.
controller and how thumbs are normally built, I suppose that makes kind of sense because you're not having to bend the thumb as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So I, at some point in my life, from playing too much Tekken because people around me was playing it, I figured out, what if? So the problem was, I can't bring my thumb to the button fast enough multiple times to do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, what if I could bring the controller to my thumb? Right?
Sure. Yeah.
So what tends to happen is when I'm trying to play a character like that, and I'm trying to do that particular string or something to that effect, instead of trying to press the button twice with my thumb, I'm using the middle, third, and last finger on my left hand and basically pushing the back of the controller up to my thumb to press the button.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's found a
I'm
workaround to
gonna-
do the same string without
Now,
having to put so much exertion
Before
into
the
it.
internet freak out, remember that we're all friends and disabled people, so I can say this. And besides, I'm about to use a medical term. CP skills, it's frankly a fact. You hide your spasticity very well, man. I didn't realize that you were that
Thank you.
spastic. Like, because that's the
Thank
thing.
you.
You don't seem it to me. You
PTFO.
just don't. You don't
Yeah,
seem that spastic.
I
But
literally.
what you're describing makes me
Yeah.
think that you actually might be, in some ways, more spastic than I am.
Yes. This is what I'm trying to say.
27, Jesus.
I
think I
Mortal
PTFO'd more.
For a long time, Andy, believe it or not, I almost could not play Mortal Kombat because a lot of their strings is like 1-1, 2-2, and you have to do it really fast, otherwise it doesn't come out.
Yes,
so
you
until I
do.
figured out that, I basically couldn't really play Mortal Kombat.
I also want to thank
used to hate
everybody
it because of
who
that.
obviously are watching a stream expecting like Call of Duty and therefore probably Call of Duty chat and the fact that it isn't that. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying, like at the minute, I've basically got...
Well, it's still gaming chat in general. We're just
Sure.
discussing different ways around different things.
Sure, but like what we're playing, as you can see though, is the brand new maps in the multiplayer, of which there are only 2. You know what? I'm gonna throw in a few more things into the filter.
Have you got Hacienda 24/7 on the list then as well?
Yeah, Hasia and Racket 24/7. I'm gonna add in the 10v10 mosh pit and the face-off mosh pit, and heck, because it's the holiday season, let's add in the Nuketown holiday 24/7 as well.
Jingle balls.
Andy,
Yes?
you said you couldn't. Sorry, we've got into this conversation now. You said you couldn't do the claw thing with the pad, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't either. It's part of the reason I got a stick actually.
So
Because
yeah, when you
It's a lot
when you
of
describe,
practice to get that
you're
to
gonna
work,
you're
I
gonna have
think.
to film how you play fighting games, man, because the way you've described how your hands are. First of all, when I tried to do it, I thought I was gonna break my goddamn wrist. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I think my wrist is because of how my cerebral palsy is.
yeah,
My right wrist is unnaturally flexed all the time. Like if you was okay, you know Letty.
yes, I would guess.
You know her bad hand, how it kind of it's flexed.
Yes. I mean, obviously,
My
haven't heard from her in years. Probably won't. But that's
Yeah,
beside
don't
the
go
point.
into
I know
it.
who you
It's
mean.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who you
My
mean.
hand kind of naturally does that when I'm trying to hold the controller. Basically.
Yeah.
But probably not to that extent because hers looked really bad. But it's that sort of thing.
Sure. But yeah.
I had a hand splint when I was younger as well, like her.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, chat, I'm possibly more spastic in certain ways than Portessa.
That honestly, that is crazy to me. Crazy
Which is
to
why
me.
when you're like, I'm playing fighting games and I can't do A, B, and C, and I know that I can, I'm like, wait a minute, but you do this, so you can do that because this is what's going on. You know?
What is going
But
on?
But to be fair though, having watched you play FPSs, which he will currently do, chat, like get back to that, promise. I'm actually starting to realize that maybe you do struggle as much as I do on that as well.
Well, everyone has a
Again,
different severity.
like I said to you, right? You know, I literally do not care about how many times I die in a match. For me, I'm completely desensitized to any kind of,
you just play for the sake of playing with friends.
Yeah, friends and family. Like,
but you also need to learn to PTFO a bit more as well.
What do you mean, man? Whenever there's
objective.
Yeah, whenever there's an objective.
We lost the last match because a certain someone wasn't on the point.
I was on the point. How dare you? I always play it's everyone else not playing the goddamn objective. How dare you say I don't play the objective?
the lowest score for the PTFO timer then?
Actually, and you bring up a really good point there, Portessa. You don't care. You just play with your family and friends, and you find fun in that because you're able to do that, right? My family and friends don't play FPSs. They all play fighting games.
Yes, I know, Sky. It's quite hilarious, this chat now.
I can't believe you just accused me of not being an objective player. How dare you?
That is actually hilarious. I need to... What's Sky saying?
He's like,
just the, you know...
Check the replay, Sky, and I'm pretty sure I'll be right with that one.
Oh, I'll be checking the replay. I'll be checking the replay. We're gonna go to theater mode.
I had nearly 2 minutes on the point, and you had what, 70 seconds?
We're gonna go to the replay right after this match. We're gonna go to theater mode. And if I do have a lower than expected objective time, it's because CP Skills was distracting me with gibberish.
Yeah,
okay. You know what? I'm going to let him off with
Blame
that
the equipment compared to the player.
You put in equipment. No, I'm joking.
People always blame their equipment, they never blame themselves.
Sir, I'll have you know.
This is hilarious.
You know what? I'm tempted to go on EA Battlelog right now and look up my Battlefield 4 stats, because I'll tell you, I've played a lot of the objectives, sir.
My guy's going all the way back to Battlefield 4. Do you know what this is like? This is like video games, but in Northern Italy.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for with these kind of more social streams. If it's not a playthrough and I'm in the stream voice chat channel, those with access to it, as you know, can just come in and we chat.
First of all, and 9 more.
And hopefully not talk over each other. We definitely all, I'm going to say all and include myself, we all need to get better at letting sentences finish, but other than that, I'd say we do all right.
Yeah, we'll see the score come the end of this match as well and see where that stands.
This is team deathmatch, so the objective is to kill. I'm playing the objective, all right?
I don't ever want to come. Shadow Dragon, how do I not become a PTFO? Like a non-PTFOer. I think you want to be.
How do you become a non-PTFOer?
You just stay away from the point.
Yeah. So basically, I don't want to be like Portessa.
No, I play the fucking objective for fuck's sake.
So the anti-Fortessa Shadow Dragon. Give me what we.
Oh, well, listen, even I can get it to you, right? If you see A, B, and C somewhere on the screen and it's red instead of blue, fucking walk to it. When you get there, stay there until it's blue.
Oh, see, Shadow Dragon. That's the problem right there. That's why he's always not hitting his points. You have to walk to it. We're screwed. Can't do it.
Don't walk, run.
Even worse. He never got past the crawling stage. No, I'm joking.
I'll have you know I play a lot of the we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at that previous replay. And granted, it might not be my best result of objective play based on everything that's been said, but I'm sure that I play the objective. Thank you very much.
As you can see, stream, I'm here to add extra
I'm
value
very
this is why it's more fun when there's two streams to compare to.
I passionately believe that, you know, I mean, again, if the match has an objective and that's
42 for 21, and you got
less
what score
than
did you
that.
get?
It doesn't matter. I just got less
15
than
for
that.
27.
Right.
Yeah. God, I'm surprised my player's back in breaking for trying to carry the team.
Alpha, is that you? Alpha, is that you just joining?
No, there's only 3 of us in here.
Oh,
Unless you're talking about in the game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I didn't see anyone join, so I can't tell.
I thought I heard another voice. But either
No,
way, no,
See?
I'm
Look,
not having this.
look,
We're going to the replay. We're going
all
to
this,
the
all this
replay.
missing objectives is driving him mad. Like he's hearing things. See?
We're going to the replay right now. Hang on.
Replay. FIFA Street.
24.
Great game.
Okay, so it was on Hacienda, one of the new maps. It was a hard point game. We're loading in. Oh my god, it still crashes the fucking game!
What?
Xbox,
What's
fix
happened?
your game! Theater mode. Crash the game.
So he can't even look at the evidence because the game was like, no, I'm not involved.
Right. You want to play objective game modes? We'll play objective game mode. I'll show you objective game mode. We're not going to play any more team deathmatch tonight. I'll show you. Let's go. You want to play the fucking objective? Let's play the fucking objective, sunshine. Let me edit this filter real quick. Team deathmatch, get the hell out of here. We're going to have domination. Hard point.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny.
Let's put on what used to be called, wait, no, oh yeah, no, hard point is King of the Hill. That's fine. Okay. All right. And you know what? We'll add in a bit of kill confirmed as well, because that's an objective mode also. You got to collect those tags. And heck, can we do, oh, we can't do free for all with a party size of, you know what? That's something I want to see changed. Especially when, you know, members of your squad accuse you of not playing the objective. Yeah, we should be able to have free-for-all in parties.
He's going to be sitting on this for a very long time now, Shadow Dragon. What's this? He's going to be talking about this, like, next week.
Do you know what would help as well, though? Yeah? It would help if I invited you to the lobby. Hang on a minute. Invite the party. You want to play the objective? Let's play the objective. Here we go. I've invited you in.
Andy, question.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish World Tour in Street Fighter 6?
No, I got to I
didn't either.
A Dalsim lookalike that basically does like 75% in one hit.
It's because you're not leveled up high enough.
I think he was. I think the name of the character was like a hidden boss in Street Fighter 2. if I'm not mistaken, because his name isn't Dalsim. It's something else.
It ain't Shenlong because that's a Shoto ripoff. Because I think they have hidden bosses like that for all the Street Fighter 2 characters.
Yeah, but it's
And
part of the main quest line, is you know, because I was basically streaming a playthrough of said World Tour mode, and
Yeah.
I just got there, and it's looking like I have to grind a lot of fights before I can survive that one. Basically.
I mean, yeah, it's an RPG. It
Yeah.
actually is an RPG.
See, that's the
You
thing
know.
with that mode is because I wanted to do a playthrough. And by the way, James, I did invite you. We're playing objective modes. Get over here. Come on.
Well, you were in the same game as me a minute ago, and then
I
you
know.
disappeared.
And, well, it's
I'm
because,
kind
it's
of like
because
replying to a chat at the minute at the same time.
if you remember, right, theater
You
mode
remember.
crashed the game, so I had to reload the game because the game crashed. But yeah, you want to play objective modes, mate? We'll play objective modes. That's all I've got in this playlist.
He's offended.
You're damn right I am. Like, playing the objectives, the one thing I am good at. Getting a high number of kills, though, forget it. Like,
Unless they have big butts, because for some reason Portessa likes to shoot people in the ass. The last time I watched him play a shooting game, everyone was getting it in the left cheek, bruv. Everyone.
I'm not good at headshots, all right? Look, I'll happily admit what I'm not good at. But playing the freaking objective, how dare you? Here we go. We got a hard point. Let's play it on hideout because Babylon sucks.
Okay,
Why is everybody
right.
voting for Babylon? What is wrong with this player base?
There was one shot, Dragon, yeah, where he literally shot the guy right in the crack. Like, I was like, that's harder to do than a headshot.
No,
how
it's
people
not.
is-
Listen, actually play this game and you'll see that it's not.
No. I'm not. You didn't just shoot him in the bum. You shot him right in the dead center in the crack.
Hang on, I got a new message. What's this?
I was like,
What's
that's
open
bloody
it on
impressive,
screen?
that is. I was like, that's bloody impressive. I gotta give it to you. That is impressive.
So you've sent me your stats. Yeah.
I'm just showing you my current stats at the minute. Just thought it'd be interesting for you to see.
Is there any particular number that you want us to pay attention
Maybe the win-loss.
Oh god.
Shoot to kill.
Oh boy.
to? Hey, James. I'm at the objective.
So am I.
Yeah.
We'll see who has the highest objective score come the end.
Yes, we will.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is almost as good as the I'm fucked day. Oh.
He's referring
Yeah,
to something that
you
happened
have-
off stream, although, like, don't get it twisted, chat. He's referring to, like, when I realized how much stuff that needed to get uploaded after one of my external SSDs died. I'm fucked was basically the words that came out of my mouth.
But it's how you had to be there, basically. It's how it happened.
Yeah.
1 minute I'm talking to him about something, and then the next thing I hear is, I'm fucked. It's
I have since discovered, though, that the Mac is actually really quite brilliant in how it uploads files in the background. It turned out that even though upload was not complete, it would just resume from wherever it left off upon like the next shutdown and boot up type thing. So it's not, so the first half that it managed to do that day, it didn't have to redo the next day. So
yeah.
Why I was asking like whether the stream was smooth or not is because actually, as
Yeah.
I'm streaming right now, there might still be some uploading going on in the background as we stream. So,
Yeah.
because there doesn't seem to be a way to pause said upload. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure, but I have to say, also for the amount of money you pay for the damn thing, it better do that.
It's been incredible. I have to, but yes, it's not a cheap system. By any
Yeah,
means.
it's not. That is true.
Like,
I swear, business studies ruined my mind state. I had no issue with Apple before I did business studies the first time round.
the only thing they truly overcharge for, really, in my opinion, in terms of like the different parts that you can upgrade on their systems, right? The bit where I really take issue is the RAM upgrades and the hard drive upgrades. Like
Well,
for capacity.
I'd say that's about fair for what you're upgrading, considering how expensive RAM is in the first place anyway.
No, sir, no. I will. We can even go on Amazon and compare. Like, you could.
Yeah,
like,
but that's because of the type of RAM they're using is custom made. They're not using off-the-shelf stuff.
Sure. But are you
That ain't gonna matter to the average person.
So you're telling me
The entire system's custom anyway, so everyday RAM won't fit it. You can't swap it out. It's proprietary stuff.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. Okay, but like, let's take.
Trust me, I've built computers for a living, so I know.
Yeah, but to me, what you've just described there, Dragon, just sounds like a design flaw. The fact that you've got to make something
I'm gonna load up the Apple Store a second, and here, bear in mind that I'm somebody that owns a new MacBook Pro, right? I don't
as
agree.
of like a week ago.
I don't agree with their RAM and hard drive pricing, which I'm gonna tell you guys now. I'm gonna tell you guys. Obviously, while
It's
continuing
about to get
play this
educational for me.
we might actually wait till the end of this match because, of course, like, I don't want to get kicked from it. But yeah.
Triple kill.
Because this is also a game where if you aren't doing enough in the match, they'll just remove you. Like, if you aren't moving around. Yeah.
Fair enough.
They just remove you. And you're not allowed to rejoin until that match is over. So, yeah. I want to keep playing the objective, especially considering that, you know, Shadow Dragon's going to be looking.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh.
Hardpoint active. TACCOM, get me a UAV. Enemy care package above.
Hey, James, on the objective.
Oh, James, you really done it now, mate.
Hey, if you look at the scoreboard right now, I've got the most time gone.
You've
so,
only
yeah.
just arrived in the objective, so where were you, huh? You weren't at the objective.
Oh, I'm constantly on the objective and having to keep people off of it. Thank you very much.
No, you've just got back. I've been here the entire time.
Funny.
Score's a bit different.
Goodness, Babylon just sucks.
Why does Babylon suck?
Why do,
It doesn't unless you're playing domination.
No, but according to Portesa, Babylon sucks. Why?
It is just absolute, like, chaos. But I would say that you're right. Like, the worst mode for this map is absolutely domination. But like,
Yeah, because if they trap you in A, that's it. You're basically screwed.
yeah.
I'm a noob, so explain to me why you're screwed. What happens?
Because they can spawn trap you, so you end up in a loop of spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. You literally can't move.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I
So-
know that. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
we've
that sounds
got a
terrible.
few stream like obvious ones of that.
Yeah. Like the match when Skyjo tried to join. Like, that was probably the
Oh
worst
god, that was a
example.
washout and a half. They had us stuck to the point we couldn't even move.
Yeah.
God, I was ready to quit at that point.
Yeah.
So
Really, it's just that part of the map is badly designed, and really they could and probably
If they move
should
A out
rework
of that corner, then yeah, it would have been better.
Yeah. It's one of those things where there's probably many things they could do to fix it, and then the entire map would play differently.
They
right.
could even make the map bigger, probably.
Yeah.
So why do you think Babylon sucks, Portessa?
Again, it's because of the spawn trapping that can happen where the A area is. It's just the A area that's the issue. If you're on the team
Yeah.
that's spawning at C, the map isn't even
Yeah.
a problem until your
It's
team
A
captures
area.
A and then starts spawning there. The A area
So
is
if you
just
made
needs
the-
work. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you made the level bigger, then that becomes less of a problem because now even if you spawn in the A area, there's more space. Is that what you're saying?
Or they
Yeah,
stop
like,
it
there's
from
a
being
lot of
such a
things
like
they could
two
do.
doors to get out of it, like give us another route out.
Yeah. There's a lot of things they could do.
Okay. Alright then.
I think they should put A like where the fourth objective is at the minute,
Sure.
instead of in that building.
As crazy as this sounds, what if they designed it like that on purpose?
Well, they probably designed it and then didn't realize how much people would abuse it because they didn't think people would play it the way they are. But they don't realize that the way you play domination is if you catch C and B, drop them at A, that's it. You've got the game held down. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Hostiles have the hard point.
It wouldn't even surprise me
Oh,
if,
they're all over this one.
when the game was being play tested by the kind of players that the devs bring in. It wouldn't even surprise me that play testers.
Because they had a
playing
bunch
the
of pro
maps.
players come into play. I'm surprised
Yeah.
we didn't encounter that.
Here's the thing, though.
Oh,
what
no.
do pro
Let
players
Andy
want?
finish.
Pro players want to like get high scores, and if they find something that they like that they pretend. Let's say, for example, pro player comes in, play test the game. They're play testing the Babylon map. They realize that when you're playing on Babylon, you can spawn trap people in A. You've got a choice in that moment. Do you tell the devs, or do you keep it to yourself so that when the game launches, you can rack up crazy score? Do you know what I mean?
It's not about that. Remember, there's this thing called the Call of Duty World League.
Yeah,
If I'm a
exactly.
pro and I know that
You
that
can
map
spawn
is gonna
trap
come
your
up in
opposition. Yeah,
yeah,
Then you don't
because I'm
vote
playing
for
for
it.
money.
yeah.
Yeah, so you don't.
They probably
say
just
anything.
played less in like rank play. Now rank play is released compared to what it is played in multiplayer.
I don't know, man. You saw what happened when the map vote came up. When the whole lobby saw Babylon, you had 6 people vote for it the second the word was
Yeah,
on the
this is
screen.
multiplayer. I'm talking about rank play.
I think that in rank,
he might have a point.
I reckon in rank the map might be just as popular. For whatever reason,
depends.
It
seems
depends what
like
team you're playing against, I guess, as well. Sometimes.
It depends on what level of rank you're at. If you're at lower, more casual ranks, then yeah, they might really enjoy it. But the higher level ones probably are like, nah, this ain't getting me nowhere.
Oh, iridescent tier and stuff like that probably will vote for it more often to keep their ranks, depending on who they're playing against, I guess. Or they might unvote it, maybe.
Because this problem happens in fighting games a lot as well. Like, there's a lot of developers who are like, do we bring in pros? Because they will find things and either lie about it or not. A lot of the time, I think Adam Hart, who's developer.
Oh, I got gold for my compact. Nice.
Yeah. The developer
even
of Killing
trying.
Instinct 2013. He said that it's often he doesn't really bring in pros because they don't help. They will talk about issues with characters they don't like, and then basically keep their own. They're too self-centered and too self-interested, basically.
Yeah.
Which is quite true.
And he's like, there's only like a couple of pros in the scene that he might actually trust to give a constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
and he's left.
Sub-Zero is effed. He's completely effed in MK1 because people from MK9 onward were bitching about how he could trap you. He's very good at trapping you and doing things, and then they couldn't move.
Well,
you,
all
so you had to
players, I
play.
guess, in fighting games have a similar thing.
What do you mean?
Well, they've all got a talent, and if you use them right, you can do some damage with them.
Correct. But some games lean more to one type of talent than others. So
now remember, when this game ends, we're going to return to a topic that we were talking about before, just because I want to show you guys what I mean. Because I honestly think that it's well, it could just be an interesting discussion point.
Yeah.
Enemy UAV
Ooh.
They've taken the lead. Watchdog Kilo incoming on your location. Hardpoint locked down.
Oh man.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Are you
Oh,
telling me
damn it,
we're
they're
about-
getting really close to win this now.
Yeah, I think they have won this game. Yes, they have.
Oh,
Right.
damn it.
So yeah, I bought a MacBook Pro. I'm very happy with my purchase, but I do have to say, one place where Apple overcharge is with storage and RAM upgrades. I'm going to explain what I mean. We're going to configure a new MacBook Pro laptop, and I'm not going to buy it because that would be a disaster. Right, but anyway, products. We'll actually go for my spec, and then I'll tell you guys what it will cost to make it even better, right? So where is it? Where's the MacBook Pro? Where is it? Oh, you know the moment when they change? Oh, here it is. Hang on. Yeah, they change the layout of the app every time you visit it. It seems. Here we go. MacBook Pro buy M4 Max. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So this particular model of Mac comes with 36 gigabytes of RAM as standard. Oh, sorry. The one that you can upgrade even higher is the 16-core CPU. I have the 14-core CPU one, right? But let's just say the 16-core CPU. And if I wanted to take it to 64 gigs of RAM, it's another £200, right? I'm sorry, but it doesn't cost Apple £200 to get 24 more gigs of RAM. And then to double that again to 128 gigs of RAM instead of 48, they're asking for an extra £1,000. This is RAM upgrade only. I think Apple are overcharging a bit, because how much can you get 128 gigs of DDR5 high-speed memory for a PC, for example? You're right that, like, you know,
Probably
Apple
about 120 quid, maybe more than that, because
exactly,
some are like
not
200-300 quid for 64.
Exactly, not £1,000, right? And then take the SSD. Now, I did pay.
Depends if you're going for non-ECC RAM or ECC RAM.
Yeah, there's no ECC options on Apple's computers, sadly. That would, I think, for the price you're paying, it should be. But no, it's not ECC. It's just regular, like a PC. But in terms of the SSD storage, right, I did actually pay £400 more to double the SSD storage from 1 terabytes to 2. If I wanted to take it to 4 terabytes, it's £600. And the thing is, I got a 4 terabyte external SSD for half that amount of money. And if you wanted 8 terabyte SSD, well, you know the price for 2 terabyte, like I said? Add another £1,800 onto that, and then you can have 8 terabytes instead. So yes, Apple overcharge for SSD and RAM. They just do. They really do, and I want.
RAM, I understand because it's going to be their proprietary stuff. But the SSD,
mean-
if you're not willing to pay that, you can do it yourself anyway. I know how to rewrite a hard drive to be a Mac hard drive anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, an extra 1,800 to go from. Oh, actually, if you're going from 1 terabyte to 8, you're talking about £2,200 extra.
Yeah, I
That-
could have just bought a 4 terabyte SSD for like 300 and be done with it.
I don't know why they're charging that much for 8 terabytes of storage space, but they are. And somehow they get away with
Because
it.
they can,
Yeah.
and people who buy Apple products will buy it because a lot of people who buy Apple products just buy them because they look nice and it's Apple.
And see, it does. I will agree. It does look nice, but you know what? Even the base model MacBook Pro looks exactly the same as one of their top line ones. So it's kind of funny.
I know, but that's the thing. You actually think about function when you buy things.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Don't
My
get me
mum and
wrong.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
My mum and my sister have done things that they bought Apple products just because they're Apple and people tell them that's what they should buy. Then they buy them, spend a whole God knows how much extra money, right? And then they start having a bunch of problems because they didn't even know what they actually wanted to do with them. They just bought them because it's Apple.
See,
you know? And I think this is why some people like me get a bit frustrated. You at least specifically knew what you wanted to do and why you're getting a MacBook.
Yeah, like
Yeah?
that's the thing.
That's fine.
And this is sort of what I wanted to say, because here's the thing. I have spent a lot on my MacBook Pro, right? My spec was £3,600. So it's not the base model. It's not the base model at all. But the upgrades I did
I know
choose.
the sound of how much he spent. It makes you go, oh god.
The upgrades I did choose of rather going than the base model, like the reasons why
You're
I
just
chose
thinking
them.
future proofing is why you've spent so much
Yeah,
more than
like,
anything.
Because the one that if anyone's curious, the spec that I got was the 14-inch model, and it is the M4 Max chip, but it is the base model version of that chip. So in other words, once you select that chip, you don't upgrade anything else. You don't upgrade the RAM. The only 2 upgrades I did was I doubled the storage once, which, as I said before, was like an extra 400, I think, to go from 1 terabyte to 2. And then I spent an extra £150 on the nano texture glass screen, which basically means that, like, you know how on most TVs, when you're looking at the TV, you can see your reflection because it's a glossy screen? This laptop screen is not glossy, meaning that if you were out in bright sunlight or just in a bright room, because obviously when I'm streaming, I don't know whether you guys can tell, but my lighting is very bright. So my room is always very bright. And so I went for the nano texture glass screen so that I could easily see the screen even in bright rooms. And I'm very glad I did. But yeah, they're the 2 upgrades I made. I upgraded the storage once, go to 2 terabyte, and then I got the fancy glass. But other than that, it's just a base model M4 Max, which is the top of the line chip that they make. So, yeah. I'm very glad I chose those upgrades, but yeah, it's still a lot of money. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend it to most people unless you knew what you were getting it for. As James rightly said, and you as well, CP, I kind of knew, like, why I wanted the Max chip. You know, obviously doing streaming. Obviously, I want it to be able to play games, because there are games coming to the Mac. Cyberpunk.
Well, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't so long ago, though.
No, true. Which is also part of the reason of, like, why now and not sooner? You know?
Well, yeah.
But I also want to dip my toes into app development.
Which I can help you with, because I've already made a bit of a start on that with mine.
Oh, nice. Well, what are you making? I mean, obviously you don't have to
I
be
just
specific.
wanted to just have a look around the environment and just see what it's like. There is a app that I did on my phone which will teach you how to do Swift quite easily. If you look on the App Store for Solo Learn and go through their course, you'll
Playgrounds,
pick
right?
up the basics
Solo
quite
Learn.
easily.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Or
so you
the
are
other way to do
developing-
it would
So-
be to use Swift Playground on the iPad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a really
I've
good
got
one
that.
as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're specifically doing Apple development because Swift. Okay.
Yeah, I did C plus in college, but I never got along with it very well, so I never followed it along as an actual thing. I had a friend that did, though. He did quite well with it.
Huh. Cool.
But yeah, Swift and Metal and stuff have come a long way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's a fairly substantially easy language to understand.
I mean, again, it's very early days of me playing around with it, but that's an example of one of the off-stream things that I've been doing. Xcode is installed, of course. Naturally, when I
Yeah,
set the laptop
well that's
up,
the only
it's
way
like,
to code in Swift anyway.
Yeah. Actually, it's not. Apple did release a Swift extension for Microsoft's Visual Studio Code, which is basically the Windows
Oh, they've finally
equivalent.
done it at last.
Yeah,
Jesus,
they-
it took
yeah.
them long enough. Xcode's been out for years.
Yeah. No.
I've always
so-
said they ought to do that.
Yeah, so Microsoft's equivalent of Xcode is called Virtual Studio, and Visual Studio, sorry.
Yeah,
And-
Visual Studio, whatever date we're on now, and then it's basically got C, C++, C Sharp,
Yeah.
and various other things. It just doesn't support
It
that.
It doesn't have Swift by default, but basically you can download the ability to add Swift coding to it now, which is something Apple have allowed. So, which I think is really
Well, they're
neat.
realizing that more and more developers will adopt it if they don't have to make the switch to
Obviously,
Apple's like.
well, I think it's more that they've realized that some people want to make an iPhone app, but they code on a Windows machine rather than a Mac. So I don't think you're going to be able to make Windows programs in Swift. That's not what it's for. It's for making
Visual
stuff for-
Studio works on a Mac, though. I know that much.
It does indeed, yes, it does.
So technically, you can do both if you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
You've just got to get used to that weird command thing with the iMacs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's different to Windows.
Yeah, you know what? I've had my
Once you're
computer-
used to it, it's not a problem really. But if you've always used a Windows thing, then yeah,
I've
it is a
had
bit
my
harder.
computer for like what, 15 days now. The whole kind of doing Command C to copy instead of Control C. I've actually reacclimatized to it pretty quickly. But yeah, I know
I
what you
remember
mean.
the first time I ever used like the very first like Macs and stuff, and trying to get used to that was weird for a start because there's a few extra functions involved for some of the like different apps and stuff.
Yeah,
But once you're used to it, it's not a problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I'll never forget the first time I used a Mac. I actually had a college friend who they didn't have time to set up the Mac, so they wanted me to do it for them, and they're like. And the thing is, they were in a rush to go somewhere, right? And I was trying to say, but I've never used one before. And they were like, oh, yeah, but you're always good with tech. You got this. I believe in you. Bye. And then so they just left this brand new Mac, but this was like in 2007 or something. They left this brand new MacBook just on my desk to set up for them. And like, just left me with it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, so naturally...
That's a dangerous one.
Naturally, I had a little bit of a play. But,
Have you like had to play with the terminal thing on Macs as well?
oh hell yes! One of my
That is a
favorite-
weird functioning thing, but yeah.
Yeah, one of my
Especially
my-
when you get it to speak to you.
Yeah, I was just about to bring this up. My favorite command in the terminal is say. You type S-A-Y.
Say hello world.
You type S-A-Y and then a space.
I bet you can do that on your Mac right now, can't you?
I could. You can literally make the Mac say pretty much whatever you want.
Well, yeah, you type in a bunch of like lines into like terminus, and then basically have the quotation.
Yeah. You literally
I'd
just
say.
type SAY.
It's kind of
space,
like
and then
when
whatever
you're
you want.
writing code, you put the word write in front of it to write it to the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except say is a different variant for terminus, which was quite funny.
It's called terminal.
I did
not
it to a friend
terminus,
once. I was like,
yes.
yeah.
I've also
Yeah,
I've also changed the theme of my terminal to look like the Matrix, so like black and with green text, because it just
Oh
looks
god.
cool.
Have you got it doing scrolling text as well?
No, but it probably could. I just don't. I don't know all the commands yet.
Enter the Matrix.
Hold your position. We lost A.
But
Okay,
yes,
they've captured
yes,
A.
I do know say, and it is very cool. I think they literally have it in as an accessibility feature for like people that need to type in order to speak to someone. I think that's literally why it's there.
Yeah, it's kind of like the first version of the like what would be Siri and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Taking A.
I think it was later developed for like a specific piece of software for people that can't speak, so they use those touchpads to type.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's getting clipped.
Losing B.
But I mean,
Hold on.
for the last 15 days or near enough. Obviously, the Twitch stream is being powered by the Mac and everything. So everything that you guys are seeing on Twitch, it's all running on the lap. You might be able to hear the fans.
No.
They are spinning up right now.
We've tested this before. It's very hard to hear them. You have to really have really good hearing to know that they're spinning. Alpha can hear them, I know that much, but I don't think I've ever heard them.
What's weird, and I can't seem to do anything about it. I mean, it's fine because obviously the computer.
It might just be the gain on the microphone picking it up ever so slightly.
Yeah. But like,
do you have like a pop filter on your mic or anything?
I do not, but it is basically the other side.
Something
of the
like a
desk.
foam sock or something like that would be enough just to take the very slight hum away.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Or if you've got an old pair of socks you don't use anymore, just stick that over them.
I mean, to be fair, on my mic, I've got a noise gate effect, so if a noise isn't
yeah,
loud
you've got
enough,
that noise gate software, so that pretty much should cancel it out. You might need to rerun that with the fans on full, so it kind of gets rid of it entirely.
That's a great idea. You know what? I actually haven't.
I'm
done
not just a
that
pretty
yet.
face.
Sure. But as a matter of fact, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, so that's probably why it's only just narrowly being picked up very slightly on some frequency somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because that bit of software is ridiculously powerful considering it's
I mean,
only a
it
tiny
should be. I
plugin.
paid over 300 quid for it. Like.
No, I'm talking about the plugin for like OBS.
Yeah,
it's quite powerful considering it's a plugin.
I'm not using OBS's one. I'm using Isotope stuff, man. Like Isotope.
Yeah, that's
Neutron
the
3.
add-on that you put onto OBS, though, isn't it? It's the one you got me to add.
It's available separately. It's actually intended for music production, right? It's for mixing. But because it's
wasn't that the one
VST,
you got me to download and add to my OBS?
No, that was Replugs. That's free, but it does the same job, right?
Oh, you've got the paid version of it, basically.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. No. What happened, James, is I got my Mac, right? I started setting up everything. I went to download Replugs. You know, that's free and reliable and really good. So good, I recommended it to you. And that was the moment I discovered that Replugs is Windows only. And then I was like, oh.
So is Isotope like kind of like an off variant of it that's basically for Mac only? It's like
Isotope, no. Isotope is a company now owned by Native Instruments, who are a German
Nine Captures.
Who are a German music software company, right? But the thing is, Isotope have made their name doing very high quality, like, music production plugins. And the thing is, this particular company, when they make plugins, they don't just make it for Windows or Mac, they make it for both. So Neutron is just one of their many products. But since I couldn't use replugs on the Mac, it's, you know, when I realized that the replugs wasn't on the Mac, I did go, oh, okay. But of course, I've got more than one set of the same tools. So when it was like, oh, I can't use replugs noise gate, luckily it's not the only noise gate I own. And then I was like, I'll download Neutron then. Like, it's like how, you know, most people have more than one pair of shoes. They're still shoes.
Oh, yeah.
La 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 la. Da, 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 da,
So,
da.
how did you score in the match then?
Oh yeah, we're doing that, aren't we?
Did
He
he
got sidetracked, he's
PTFO?
forgot.
Did he PTFO?
I got
He got
1,075 1,075 objective score, which by the way is higher than the guy that's higher up on me on the leaderboard, because he's only got 550. So I've played the objective.
Let's have a look.
I don't know how you've got 1,000 more objective points than me though.
2,075, and I've got 9 captures. Because I've captured the objective, I've been killing while on the objective as well.
Well,
great.
I've still played the objective. I did better than Logan, all right? And he's
Who's
like,
Logan?
The competition is between me and you, but yeah.
Leave him alone, Dragon. Leave him alone. It's all right. And you did better than me, okay? You did.
Yeah, you weren't even in the fucking game.
Exactly. So you did better than me.
Right, how am I doing for this weapon? What have I got left?
It's alright.
so I've had
This is
3 doubles,
like I
7
said,
more.
this is going to be one of the last Gooby streams that I do for a while, because Path of Exile 2, yo.
Yeah, what are you
Hell
doing
is
about that
Tim
then?
Tem?
I'm going to approach it the same way as I did with Diablo 4, which is to say that the very first playthrough that I do will be entirely solo, as in just me. But if anyone else has bought into the early access or does in the future, if you want to play it with me, after I've gone through the story once, I'd be more
When
than
you say
happy to
bought into the early access, what do you mean?
I mean that even though Path of
you got
Exile
early
2
access.
is going to be free to play when it is finally launched in full 1.0, during the early access it is buy to play, not free to play.
Okay, and when is it fully released then?
6th of December. But actually, because they're like it's a New Zealand developer, it's my understanding that in the UK, early access will actually begin at 1 AM on December the 7th. I'm not staying up till 1 AM though.
I was going to say you've got to be crazy for that one.
But the early access, for anyone curious, it's not expensive. You can get into it for less than 25 UK pounds. Because it's available on Steam, and it's also on, obviously, Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 as well. Although the PlayStation 5 early access keys don't go on sale until early access actually
Dave's
starts.
online.
So, and, yeah.
Of course he comes online when we're getting close to wrapping up.
Yeah, he's taking my place.
Well, it's online on the PlayStation, he's not on Discord or anything though.
Yeah, but I'm online on the PlayStation.
God, he must still feel rough having that camera. Jesus.
Oh, he told you about it. Don't
Yeah.
don't mention on stream, please.
I'm not going to mention why on stream or anything because I know he won't want. But
yeah.
Obviously, that's a private matter. But
It
yeah.
is. So I'm
You get the
surprised you
gist.
even said that much.
Hey, that could be to do with anything. I didn't say what type of. I just said the C word. That's it. It could be a new camera, digital camera for people.
All right,
don't know.
just stop.
I'm just proving a point. I didn't say anything that leaks what exactly the issue is.
My brother is fine. For anyone who's becoming increasingly concerned by this weird conversation. Yeah.
After the stream.
Net call. Enemy watchdog below inbound.
Oh, that weren't quick enough to be a double, damn.
Ghostwire, Tokyo. No, not Call of Duty Ghosts. No, Ghostwire, Tokyo.
Oh god, I haven't played Ghost in years.
Sounds like
Jesus.
something really wants you to play this game, Marcus. You know.
You type in Ghost and you get Call of Duty Ghost. I know. Jeez.
One
But
of
the
us.
horror.
One of us.
Trust me, if you play Ghost, you would rage so much. It's ridiculous. The TTK on that game is so quick.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I would say
Because whether you're playing core or hardcore in that game, the time to kill is exactly the same.
I would say because this is a tryout Call of Duty, which typically I've preferred tryout Call of Duties. I will say that the TTK is slower than last year's Call of Duty, which of course was Modern Warfare 3.23. So I feel like what that actually translates to in layman's terms is that I feel like you have more of a chance to win a firefight and more time to react to incoming fire. Now that being said, the TTK is still quick, but for a Call of Duty, as in comparing Call of Duty in general, this game has a slower TTK than what Call of Duty usually has. So I'm not saying that you have a much wider window, but it's a little bit like how, you know, going from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5 had a much wider input window than Street Fighter 4. It's that kind of thing I explain, you know? Because like hell could I do anything on Street Fighter 4? Not really. Anything cool that I did on Street Fighter 4 was entirely accidental, including any and all Ultra Combat.
The joke is, James, he could actually do a lot in Street Fighter 4. It's just that rather than starting on down like you're supposed to, he's been starting on down forward the whole time.
Here we go.
And because he's allergic to practice mode, he didn't know that. Right? So for 15 years, he was always constantly doing, and then it was so funny. He's like, see, I just can't do it. Right? And I was like, Andy, do me a favor, put on input history, please. Why? Just put on his input history. See, it's not coming out. I said, you know why it's not coming out? Why? Because you're starting that down forward, you numbnuts.
Once you show him what to do, it was like boom, boom, boom.
Bro, he got it in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, the fireball came out. I was like,
it was not 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Fireball,
you were not comfortable in 2 minutes, but the first one came out after about 2 minutes. I remember because I was like, so for 15 years, right? You've been saying I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it.
Could not do it.
I mean, I know I'm not brilliant at like fighting games and everything. I've improved a lot since like meeting like you guys and everything because bloody hell, I didn't used to be able to do half the combos I can do now. But even then, I still suffer.
A lot of it, James. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's game literacy. I call it game literacy. Yeah, people do not have the same way how because everybody plays FPSs. If I was to make an FPS, there's a lot of things I wouldn't have to tell you because as long as I design it the way that FPSs are generally designed, you're gonna know what to do because you play lots of FPSs. Sure. They're like the most popular. Yeah.
Yeah, I get.
The problem is,
I understand what you're saying.
Nobody really knows how to play fighting games because they didn't grow up in the period that I grew up in. Didn't have the people around that I did. So what happens is because even people that think
historically. Fighting games
well,
have
I'm
done
winning
a
the
bad job
PTFO
of
contest,
teaching you how
boy.
to play them because, in a way, you could say that because of how the arcade scene typically worked, even when people did figure out something, they were reluctant to tell people because that basically meant that they had an advantage over everyone else at the arcade, and if you could beat everyone else at the arcade, that meant you could keep playing the game really cheaply.
Eventually though, because you can't hide it all the time, you're gonna what used to happen is people be playing, and then you'll have people behind you, and they can
And
kind
they
of
are
see your hands.
watching. Yeah, they're watching.
Everybody's watching, so you figure out things eventually, right? But that's how things used to go. When you're in that environment, eventually you will figure out things, and it's like, oh, that's why it keeps hitting me, you know. Whereas you haven't had that because people don't play those types of games as much. They're not as popular as FPSs, right? So that's why the first thing that comes to your mind is combos. Whereas someone who knows how to play the games, they're like, that doesn't matter at all because you have to hit them first. What matters more is spacing, right? Understanding why people press these buttons. I used to say to Andy, imagine every time you have to, because he likes to press lots of buttons. So I used to say to him, and this is not his fault, it's because he comes from Tekken. So I used to say to him, imagine every time you press a button, you have to pay me a $5. He's like, what? Every time you press a button, give me a £5. That is how you need to think about these games when we're talking about Street Fighter and stuff. Because every time you press a button, you're taking a risk. If it misses, I can wipe out half your health. You know, so you have to be very, very particular about when you do things and why. You have to understand why you're doing it. And then we got to the point where it was an interesting journey. That's why I'm talking about it. And then we got to the point where Andy started to understand why he's doing things, but he's doing it from a one-player perspective, which again is not his fault. He grew up playing on arcade mode because no one would play with him. So he's playing the one-player game, right?
Yeah,
so then we had to take him. So we had to take him from that to, okay, you understand what you want to do, you know what you can physically do, but now you have to take into account what I'm doing and play the two-player game while doing all of that at the same time.
In other
And
words,
that
be able
is-
to read your opponent.
Yeah, while doing all the things he wants to do at the same time and moving at the same time, which in the beginning is actually very difficult.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
but-
was a learning curve for me as well, switching from single player to like being multiplayer with you guys, because I'm used to
Yeah.
like the original Tekken's being all single player only, because PS1 and stuff didn't have real proper multiplayer, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Obviously, if you
think-
connected a controller,
If you have the
yes,
network
but-
thing, yes.
No.
No.
PS1 and PS2 Tekken was entirely offline, so it meant you had multiplayer, but you had to have somebody there with you and a second controller.
Yeah, I've done the two-player split screen thing, but I'm talking about where you can't actually see what your friend next to you is doing. So you've got to try and figure out what they're going to do.
Online Tekken didn't become a thing until PS3.
Yeah,
A
my
lot of-
first Tekken Online was going to be the PS4.
Yeah, a lot of that is to do with the arcade scene. If you wanted to actually play against lots of people and you didn't have friends that played normally and would come to your house, normally that would mean you go to an arcade and you get lots of people, especially back those days, you get lots of people playing Tekken because it was very popular from Tekken 3 onwards.
I
lucky in
remember
the sense-
playing Time Crisis in the arcade. That's about it.
Oh man, Time Crisis.
That was number 2, I think. I think that's on a trip to France once as well.
I love Time Crisis. I can't say it was ever good, but I love Time Crisis.
I played more Virtual Cop because I had a Sega console.
Sega Mega Drive.
I had a Mega Drive, a Sega Saturn.
Oh,
Dreamcast.
that reminds me. Public service announcement. Anyone that wants to buy the Sega Mega Drive collection like I did last night, make sure
better
you
do it
do it.
now.
Yeah, make sure you do it now because tomorrow it's gone.
Gone. Yeah.
You know what Eagle Eye Cherry would say? Buy it now.
I'm gonna need some backwards context for that to understand what you're about.
Because tomorrow it be gone.
I didn't know who he was talking about, but what he means by buy it now is that Sega's
That song
delisting
by
all of
Eagle
those
Eye
games.
Cherry, Save Tonight. I was doing a parody. Buy it
Yeah, I
now,
know there's some sort of
'cause
sale on the
tomorrow
Sega
it
Mega
be
Drive
gone.
collection, but on what? PS4, PS5?
It's being delisted, so you can get it on
Delisted.
Steam.
If you want it now,
Yeah.
if you want it, you need to get it now. Is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Why? What's
Because
happening with?
it's being
It won't be
delisted.
playable anymore. It's being delisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've missed something here.
Delisted means the game is deleted from digital stores. They are not selling
You
it
can't
from
buy it
tomorrow.
anymore.
Yeah, but why are they doing it though?
They
I
haven't
don't know.
said why.
They just decided to do it then, okay. I
Yeah.
thought there might be more to this story than just the fact that they're delisting it.
There
can
probably
no,
is, but it's not
I-
public knowledge. Like,
I can imagine if it was to hazard a guess, because they haven't said, right? But the only thing I can possibly think of is to have something on a digital storefront that you don't own, you probably have to pay some sort of license to have it up there or some form of money.
There'll be
And
a
it just
creator's fee or
isn't-
something probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it just isn't making back the money and worth it having there because no one's buying it anymore. Because a lot of these things have been out on those stores for a very long time, like
for
several
this
years.
collection, it came out in 2018, in like May 2018, and it's being
Yeah.
delisted tomorrow. So yeah.
So basically
annoying
some
'cause it-
excessively old games again delisted because they're no longer profitable to the company, is what they're basically saying.
Essentially, is what if I was to guess? Yes.
Sounds about right.
But it's a real good shame because I mean I was playing the collection a little bit off stream earlier. There's a very cool collection of Mega Drive games in there, and they actually have online multiplayer for a bunch of them as well.
And what's in the collection?
What in
about
the
50 games?
Yeah, 50 games, man. It's quite a list.
It's literally about 50 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is there any
because-
like well-known titles that I might know off the top of
Streets
my
of
head?
Rage,
yes.
Sonic, Virtua Fighter 2,
Forget
Golden
Virtua Fighter
Axe.
2. It's not the same exact. Forget that exists. It's the Mega Drive version. Forget it.
True, yeah, it's very different. Yeah,
I
but
would say Sonic's about the only one I'm gonna know from the Mega Drive.
Shinobi, Golden Axe, Altered Beast.
Streets of
All of the
Rage,
classics.
Yeah.
All of the classics that you could possibly think of to do with Sega, the majority of them happened on that Mega Drive and they're on that collection, basically.
Yeah.
And how much is
Basically.
this collection?
25
It's like
quid.
30 quid.
25.
25. There you go.
25.
Now
They
you got to
even
think how
had-
much they would have been worth back then.
Oh god,
even-
more like 40 each, right?
Some of these games, if you had the Mega Drive version of those games, like if you had the Mega Drive version of Gunstar Heroes, right now you're probably paying 3 figures minimum on eBay. It's like hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
Gunstar Heroes is yeah.
And it's a
Yeah,
whole
the only
collection
Mega
of
Drive games
50
I've ever
games
played is
for-
Sonic. That's it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
there.
you
I don't
but
think
it's
I've ever
still
played
just as
anything
good
else.
now.
Well, if you ever wanted to try other stuff that they re-released, you might.
Here's the
you know,
other thing
have
about
a look.
that collection that's pretty cool though, Marcus, and I didn't realize until I bought it last night. The PlayStation
Yeah.
version has support for PlayStation VR 1. So you know that virtual room main menu thing that they've got on that collection?
You could actually look around it. Yeah.
Yeah, in VR.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really
No,
slick.
I've got the PlayStation version of that. But also, if you on Steam, they have something called the Dreamcast collection.
Oh
Which
god,
is-
that's old.
That's
Not as
also
old as
being
Mega Drive.
delisted,
That's
right?
that's their latest console. Yeah, it's been delisted, so that means no more Jet Set Radio.
Did you know they've re-released all the Tomb Raider games as a remaster?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Tomb Raider
1, 2,
4, 5,
3, and then
yeah.
4, 5, and 6 as two separate ones.
4,
Where
5,
it's
and
4,
6
5,
is
and Angel of
coming-
Darkness.
4, 5, and 6 is coming on Valentine's Day because that's Lara Croft's canonical
Ooh.
birthday. That's when her birthday is. So
I'm probably gonna be busy on that day.
Yeah, same here.
Probably.
But
and
if
I'm
they're
probably
remastering all the
not
old
because
games that
I'm
I
single,
absolutely
so
love.
I'll probably buy that collection and have a date with Lara instead.
Same here.
There's
Unless
a lot of
my situation changes between now and February the 14th next year, I think I will be doing that too.
There we
But
go.
then again, Lara Croft for me is kind of like reminiscent of my granddad as well, because he used to play like the original games a lot.
I was about to
So
say,
it's
Lara
kind of
Croft
a
look like your
homage.
granddad. Shit. No, joking.
No, I'm saying it's like a memory thing, like you know when they
I'm
used
joking.
like your
I
parents.
know. My grandma used to play Ridge Racer. The
What?
first
I'm
one.
just imagining, like.
Did you say Ridge Racer?
Ridge
Yes, Ridge
Racer?
Racer.
Oh
God, I
my
haven't
god.
seen that game in years.
I know no one
Gold.
has. The last one was
I'm
2018.
just
The last one was
imagining this
2018.
Ridge Racing granny now. Oh, that's
There
great.
is actually a granny out there that is actually a gamer, which is ridiculously
Bro,
impossible
my
to think about, but
grandma,
it's true.
my
And
very,
there is
very,
like a
very,
player out there
very,
that's gone through 1 to 90 in WoW without even killing a single boar or anything. They've just done herbalism constantly.
my very, very, very,
That must be
very
mind-numbingly
Jamaican,
tedious, though.
my very, 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 very Jamaican grandma used to sometimes play Ridge Racer and Sonic the Hedgehog,
Oh, James
which was
got to play the game.
hilarious.
And this is the play when I also got gold as well. This is hilarious.
But did he
Oh my
PTFO?
I
Oh,
saw
look
him
at my
collect
PTFO
one
score.
tag in this
16
replay.
confirms.
One. That replay had 1 tag confirmed.
Yeah. But I have 16 confirms in total, and you have what, 10?
Yes, I do have 10.
The saddest thing about Sega is that the 3 consoles that I've mentioned, the Mega Drive, the Sega Saturn, and the Dreamcast,
Yep.
all of them were actually genuinely fantastic. And
Yeah.
in 2 of the 3 cases, they were unarguably technologically better than PlayStation. The problem was Sega's marketing has always been shit. In the West, Sega's marketing is so bad. Why did we not know about Yakuza until 2005? When
Because they didn't release it in the West, did they? Like, they only released it in Japan.
But
Yeah.
the joke is that Yakuza was massive in Japan from like 2000, 2001.
Yeah, this
And
is
we
going
don't
to be
get
my
the first
last
game
game,
until
by the way, guys.
2005.
Last game of the stream, and it's happening on one of the new maps again. So we've kind of come full circle. We started off. I actually played the new intro movie to the new Zombies map at the start of the stream, and then after that we went into the new multiplayer maps that you've seen. Like, again, you're seeing one of them again here. Then I got accused for not playing the objective, and so we've been doing just objective-based modes for a while. And all the while, there's been very random conversation, as there always is with this sort of stream.
God, it's nice to see this map back.
I
That's
hope you've
all I
all
can
enjoyed
say.
it, though. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Yeah, I have to say, these 2 new maps that they've added, I like them.
As the
They're
ender was
nice.
from Black Ops 4, I believe.
Secure the objective.
All right.
And Packet looks like it's like an underground like vault area, which is a brand new map, or it might be a reskin, I'm not sure. And there is another one due to come, I think, at some point, or is in the like 2v2 mode.
Okay. Yeah, technically this is the Season 1 Reloaded patch, so it's
That's
the
2
last,
captures
it's
for
the
me.
last big patch before Season 2, which will probably be in February or so.
There might be another update to Season 1 before Season 2 drops, potentially, because come January there is no more scheduled like events off the top of people's heads.
Oh,
So there might be a 1.75 before 2.
Yeah, they'll do another Call of Duty World League and stuff. I don't know whether they've, they might just have not announced it yet. It's like how Namco are keeping their year 2 plans for Tekken very hush-hush, but it's guaranteed to be there.
We're losing Charlie.
Where the hell is
They
this
even
guy?
did a post the other day, because we were talking about Tekken earlier in the stream. They actually did a post the other day where they said, by the way, we will not announce the 4th character for year 1 at the finals of Tekken World Tour, because obviously that's what everybody's expecting. So what that essentially means is that the announcement might be at the Game Awards instead, because it's, more eyes.
Well, they
will
want to
be
keep
on that.
people on their toes and make them guess.
Yeah, but when they say nonsense like this, you got to think around what they're saying as well. They said they're not going to announce the final character.
Oh,
at
they took
TWT,
Charlie, damn it.
right? What's to stop them from announcing the fact that there's a Season 2
True.
and some of the things that are going to be coming in Season 2?
Yeah.
That is true.
Because all they said was, we're not announcing the last character.
True,
Right?
they
There
did
might be a
say that
season
they,
2
they
with the
did
new
say they
character.
were going to announce new features, though. They did say that, didn't it? It mentioned new features.
Exactly. So, with these people, especially fucking Harada.
These guys are trying to
Sometimes-
triple cap and just completely kill the game.
you gotta think around what they're saying sometimes because they deliver.
Yep, they're going straight for Steve.
Harada and Ed Boon are the worst for it. When they say stuff, it's like, okay, but what is he not saying?
Bravo zone secure.
You know?
What new
Um,
features do you think might come?
Hostile
Because
scout
to be
master
fair, we've got a
AF.
very feature-rich game already. But
Yeah,
like,
in
what
comparison to Tekken normally.
We control
Things like
AMC.
giving us our points when people rage quit.
that
Things
shouldn't
like
be a feature. That's a basic human right.
I know, but this is Bamco, right?
That's not a feature.
All locations
I
locked down.
think they're going to talk about some new cosmetic items because they've got some new partnership with some company, probably. I think they're gonna possibly have another one of those event things in the fight lounge.
Yeah.
They might.
Apparently, there's Siren Bison in the Street
Yes.
Fighter lobbies at the moment.
He took the piss out of Maximilian. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Losing B.
Honestly, if you've been playing fighting games for as long as me and you're old enough to know like back in the day stuff, it is hilarious seeing people react to that. It's so busted.
We're down that plane.
Yeah.
Hey, 25
Actually,
scores done.
I'm actually very interested to... Guys, why do you think these companies are so adamant for people to not repurchase their retro games? Like, why is it so, like... There's this big thing about apparently gaming in general. A lot of people are going back and playing like classic games and old catalog, and the publishers are really not liking it
because it's not
because they're
an
not
income for them.
monetizing those, right? It's like because because you're
Yeah,
right.
but you could be just re-release them on modern and then keep them there so we can buy them. People
Yeah.
buy them. Like you could be monetizing it. Why aren't you? It's there.
Yeah.
Stop fighting it. It's there. And you probably should be happy that people are doing that because it's cheaper to make a remaster than to make a whole new AAA game.
I mean, take you know, the Resident Evil remakes and also
somebody
the
captured
Silent
B
Hill 2
because I can't
remake.
keep
So,
running
like,
back and
if you're a
forth.
survival horror fan, you're eating very well at the moment. But in the case of Silent Hill and Resident Evil, dude, I've loved those remakes when they've come out. And yeah, I actually do hope that Capcom remake Resident Evil 5 next.
Okay,
and then
still on the
6.
point.
Yeah, I said it. I know not a lot of people liked 5, but because they've done like 2, 3, and 4, and of course they did 1 like way back in the day, you know, on like GameCube and stuff. Yeah, like I honestly think, yeah, they should remaster the rest of it. Obviously, Resident Evil 7 and 8 don't need a remaster because they're already on like PS5. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, release the classics ones because they were good.
Well, I think all older games that were PS1, PS2 generation should be remastered by this point because it's like, yeah, why not? Give people the nostalgia
Well, maybe not,
factor that they want.
maybe not all. Maybe not.
No, but the big
all of
popular
them.
ones like Resident Evil, Street Fighter, those types of things. That people are going to go back and go, nostalgia for. Not the indie things that perhaps maybe 10% of the population
And
play.
certainly not, like, I'm going to call out a game for the PS3 era. Does anybody remember Haze?
Nope.
Oh,
I wasn't.
That was terrible. You know what made that worse? No. Do you know what made that worse? What made it worse was the hype up to it as well.
Oh,
like,
dude, they had Korn release an amazing music video and release a song like about it and everything, and the song was actually good as well. But hey, it's Korn; they're a decent band, you know.
All the money was
destroyed.
Yeah,
all the money was
spent on
clearly
marketing.
spent in the wrong place.
Here's
right?
the thing about that game, though. The
What
other
is
thing
my
that
team
made it
doing?
a
They keep
disappointing
jumping
thing for me
objectives.
as well is that the devs, like that game was made by the same people that did Time Splitters. And Time Splitters, if you haven't played that shooter series, is fantastic on PS2.
which has been gone for years for no good reason, because it was great. People loved it. People been gagging for a new
So
one
the fact
for a long
that
time.
like they've gone from making Time Splitters and then releasing Haze on PS3 and 360. I mean, when you consider well, let's just put it this way. It's hard to put into words just how far they fell with the release of Haze.
Certain people had to retire or move on or something, because it can't be the same people. It was that bad.
You
It's
actually might
normally
have a
newer
very good
developers that
point.
have a new direction
Yeah.
for where people
You
want it
actually
to
have a
go.
very
Is
good
usually the
point. It
problem.
might be the same company, but I don't think it was the same company. You know what I mean? Yeah.
People, but it has to be when it's like that.
Losing Bravo.
You have to look at it that way, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, like I just think like retro people are going back to, because I think there's a number of reasons why people are going back to retro
You know
games. They
what,
tend to
though?
be cheaper.
If ever, you know, maybe when we're old men, Marcus, right? I guess stranger
Okay,
things have
nobody's playing
happened.
the objective now.
Like, we might just be 10, 15 years away from Haze Remastered, and who knows? Maybe they'll salvage it.
Bro, a Haze remake.
Cause here's the
Haze
thing, there
reboot.
was
Haze
actually
reboot.
there was actually some mechanics in that shooter, because I did actually play it.
Hostile UAV established overhead.
And
I just
did
remember the piss yellow liquid.
and
Okay,
I did
now
the
there's tractors at A.
nectar,
Interesting.
nectar, Marcus. It was nectar.
It looked like urine.
It was nectar. And basically, it was a fluid that was injected into the soldiers to make them basically like superhuman. So it's a very...
Just like the urine injected into your bladder. That's what it looked like.
What was really funny
was
though
funny.
is like, because the enemies were all in those suits and they had the nectar tanks on the back, if you shot the back of the tanks, it basically made them overdose on the nectar and drove them crazy. And if you remember, the helmets went from glowing yellow to red when that happened. And you essentially could make the enemies shoot each other and stuff. They had some neat mechanics. But like, yeah, just not... we've talked a lot about shooters on this stream, obviously, because we're playing Gooby. Haze is an example of a shooter. If you've never heard of it, chat, and you've never played it, trust me, it's a game you don't need to play. You aren't missing out. I promise.
And when
This
Paul
contest
Tessa
is
says it,
no
you know
issue.
it's bad.
Yeah. Having said that, though, part of me secretly is wanting a remaster now just for the hilarity of it.
Mate, if they do a reboot, because I can see someone saying they had really good ideas here, but here's where they fucked up.
They actually
'Cause there
did
are-
have... I do think they had good ideas in there. Yeah.
Here's where what can happen sometimes, right?
Taking Bravo underway.
Like MK1 is an Mortal Kombat 1 financially for Warner Brothers is an objective failure, right? For them, right? And when you look into why, you can see that simply they just didn't take enough time to actually with the game, right? Someone should have gone and said, "Why cameos are annoying? Why aren't they just full-fledged characters when you got 2v2?"
Yeah.
Like, it's an annoying gimmick that you've made a gimmick for no reason other than to say, "Oh look, we've done something different." You know, all the other things about.
He's saying PTFO again. God damn it! I don't know what I did to deserve this kind of abuse.
2 captures. Wow.
Listen, it's my birthday in 4 days. How dare you speak to me like that? I've played the objective.
In 4 days.
4 days. I'll be 36. Not 63, 36.
Are you sure you're not 63?
Sound like you're 63 sometimes.
On that note,
particularly with the music.
Stream.
Oh, one more destruction and then I'm on the next
It's alright,
for that
mate.
launch.
I'm
Nice.
37 in 4 months. Now, I have the Genesis collection on PlayStation.
Yeah, actually,
Do I
let
also?
me let me actually show this off on the stream before I actually end. So I bought it. It's in my library. Therefore, it's not going to show a price. But it's £25, and yeah, on the PlayStation Store, like the artwork looks like this. It's called the Sega Mega Drive Classics on the European Store. But yeah, you've basically got to buy this now, because tomorrow it is gone, as Eagle Eye Cherry would say. So yeah, buy it now. It's a PS4 game, but it runs on PS5. Supports PlayStation VR 1, which is something I forgot, but is awesome. And you get lots of classic games. Does it actually list them here? Not all of them, but yeah, Sonic, Streets of Rage 2, RPGs like Phantasy Star, and yeah, there's again the stars for me are the Streets of Rage games.
So I've got one more SMG to get to gold, and then
so
that's
yeah.
it.
But that's because he hasn't played the other games. Like do you know what? This will make you laugh.
3, 4, 5.
One
What did I
day,
miss?
I'm gonna need you to play Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, that's an incredible game. Is that in there as well? Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
The Jackal.
I do know.
Gold as well.
I do. Echo the Dolphin is best dolphin. Yes, I do know.
Do you remember how bastard hard that?
No, that is something I have forgot. So you know what? I'll load it up sometime. But yeah, to be fair though, yeah, I'm expecting to be able to play PoE 2 tomorrow. But again, after looking into it a little bit, it's looking like the early access might not begin for me until 1 a.m. on the 7th. I'm not staying up till 1 a.m. So basically on the 7th of December, when I'm good and ready, I will attempt to log into the servers. Hopefully they'll be running. And we'll start our playthrough of Path of Exile 2 early access as a witch, because the witch is the one that will be able to have all of the zombies and basically necromancer-like gameplay. I do believe the necromancer ascendancy class will not be in early access, but 2 other ascendancies will. However, that doesn't mean that the witch will be minionless. Very, very far from it. So we're going to do a necromancer build as much as we can in early access. And who knows? Maybe they won't even have a necromancer ascendancy class like they do in the original Path of Exile 1. Maybe there'll be something else. But there definitely looks to be... well, let me just put it to you this way. Even out of the footage that I've seen of Path of Exile 2 early access so far, you can have more skeletons than you can in Diablo 4 as a necromancer. So I think we're on to a winner, because minion builds are just what I like to play in action RPGs, and I really can't wait to play this new one. So you will be seeing a lot, and I really do mean a lot, of Path of Exile 2 on the channel. But that also means that I get to show off everything that's in the early access, so that you guys know what you'd be getting when you pay, if you decide to, £25 to get into the early access, should you choose to. Alternatively though, you could just wait the 6 months to a year that the devs estimate that the early access will take, and when the game releases as a full like 1.0, it will be free to play just like the original game. So yeah, if you're patient enough, you could just play the whole thing for free. So yeah. I just read James's chat. I'm ending this stream because his head is going to get too big for the stream at this rate. But yeah, what were you saying, Marcus? What were you saying?
It never ceases to me to like playing on the Genesis, some of the Genesis classic games.
Yeah.
It never ceases to amaze me how hard some of those games were. Like,
well, I was playing Virtua Fighter 2 Genesis version earlier, and yeah, it's a very different game to the Saturn version, isn't it? It is, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's amazing they even got that on the system without it blowing up, to be fair.
It's, to be fair, I kind of forgot to try to sidestep, but am I right in saying there is no sidestep? Right.
No,
So
sidestep comes in VF3.
Hang on a minute. So you're telling me that even the Saturn version, even though it has 3D graphics, there's no sidestep?
So, Virtua Fighter is the first game to introduce sidestep, and they don't do that until VF3.
Jesus.
Oh my god! How did I? Because again, I've played VF2 on like Judgment, which I know is not Yakuza, but it's the other series.
Yeah. There are moves where there are moves. So there are moves that you do where the character does sidestep in the animation. So there is a Z axis, but you can't actually manually sidestep until Virtua Fighter 3.
Do you know what? I completely forgot that. But hey, it's been a while since I played the Judgment games, and yes, I'll get to Yakuza at some point. I don't know how old I'm gonna be by the time I do, but I want to get to the Yakuza game.
All I'm saying is, you don't take your time. It's just that there's like 10 games, and they keep adding
Probably be
to
old
it.
and grey by that point.
Oh, I know.
There's like 10 games, and they keep adding to it. So
Infinite Wealth
the
looks
longer you
fun.
take-
I'm not sure. I don't know about the pirate one. I don't know about the pirate one.
I would leave
Goro-chan.
even Infinite Wealth and the pirate one. I would leave those for a little bit and go back to the older ones first, because they completely changed the game from Infinite Wealth onwards. It becomes, can we call it turn-based?
Yeah.
It all sounds
You're on
to me.
about Yakuza Like a Dragon, actually, is when they did the turn-based thing. Yakuza Like a Dragon is when they changed.
Infinite Wealth is the turn-based era.
Yeah.
Before that, before Like a
It
Dragon,
played like Judgment,
it
and
was
yeah.
So they're very different games. They're still good, but they're very different games.
I can say
then
because I want to play them in order, right? So I'll be playing from Kiwami 1 whenever I get to it, right? Which I do have.
Well,
I'm
when you say
I'm gonna warn
hold
you
on.
now. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll need to do Yakuza 0. You're right. I'll do Yakuza 0.
So you mean chronological order?
Yeah.
Like according to the story.
Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah,
I
0. You need
think
0.
that's how I want to do it. But like,
Well, technically, you might want Ishin, because Ishin starts like 500
oh yeah,
years before.
that's
It's
yeah. Oh shit, yeah, that's a good
It
point.
sounds like those games, as they release them, they've just like dotted the story here, there, and everywhere, and no one knows the true order.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
do.
I might. Yeah, no, you're right. I might have to start with Ishin, and because I actually got PlayStation Plus Premium renewed recently, I do believe Ishin is now part of that. So I could just.
So what happened? What happened, James? Right? Is they made Yakuza 1, right? And it talks about this guy, really cool guy called Kazuma Kiryu, and goes through
He's
his
an
story and
extremely
stuff,
cool
right?
guy. He's
Very cool. He definitely getting the ladies, right? And at that point, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's like 6 of them.
Yep.
Literally, right?
Yep.
And then his story and then at some point during the first, I want to say 3 or 4 games, they decided to make a prequel as to how does Kazuma Kiryu become who he is as you see him in the first game. Because clearly it starts off with him coming out of prison after serving 10 years.
Spoilers!
Right? It's not a spoiler, it's the beginning of the game, shut up. It's literally the tutorial, right? So you're like, Yakuza 0 is how did he get there? What happened?
Well,
so it's like,
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to, but yeah, I get.
So whose story is it for Like a Dragon and all the ones that are on PS5 and stuff?
Oh, Ichiban, right? Ichiban.
Because isn't that the one a certain someone we know was playing for a while, and I had to help her with them?
Yeah, that was Judgment. That is, and again, Judgment is the series that I've played through. But see, back then, right, I hadn't played through them. When the first Judgment game got announced for PS5, I was like, right, I've actually got to buy this. I did a playthrough, and then I got Lost Judgment when the sequel came out, and then I did the DLC to Lost Judgment where you play as, what's the guy's name? What's Yagami's partner in Not Crime? Because they're detectives. What's his name? Kaito-san. There we go, Kaito.
Okay.
And he's also
Okay.
he's also the voice of Winston in Overwatch, which I find is hilarious.
Really?
So
Yeah.
so James,
Wow.
another thing that Sega
I'm
has
actually
done
surprised that both of you didn't notice that, because Kaito's in the first Judgment game as well. So yeah.
So a number of things that Sega have done, because Yakuza became, for some reason, it was a surprise to them that became popular. I don't know why it's a surprise. It's the fucking Yakuza.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
cool. Everything about them is cool. Like, come on. But they put Judgment in the exact same universe, which I think is really cool, because now it's like you're playing two separate sides of the situation.
Yeah.
You got the organized crime situation and what's going on with them, and then you got the detective who's trying to work his way around the situation with the crime and these different families and whatnot.
I
which
thought it
is
was
really cool.
absolutely genius, and the only reason why I decided to play through the Judgment games before the Yakuza games, and I maintained that this was a good decision, is because there are less Judgment games than there are Yakuza games. Yeah.
Literally only has 2 games.
Are they
Whereas-
part of the Yakuza series, though, Judgment?
It's a separate
No,
series,
not-
but it's
not-
set in the
not
same
officially,
universe.
Yeah,
Separate series,
yeah.
but in the same universe. So, like, yeah.
I have said they won't do this because it takes too much work. But Yakuza is so popular, it currently has a series on Prime, right? I
heard about that. I haven't watched it
apparently
yet.
it's
Has
terrible.
oh no.
I haven't seen it, but basically it didn't sound good when the people making it said they hadn't played the games and don't know anything about the source material.
Oh no.
You know, when you're a fan and you hear that, you're sort of like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because Yakuza is a very story. It's a very story narrative heavy game, which is actually kind of shocking to me that I almost got through the entirety of the first one, because normally I don't. But yeah, that's how cool it is. That's how cool it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, sidestepping from that conversation.
Yeah. Did I actually quit the game and quit the parties? I did. Okay, cool.
So you on stream still, or you're not on stream?
I am on
He's still on
stream. I'm
stream,
waiting for you guys to, like, you know, like, yeah.
He's waiting for us to exit stage left.
We're gonna wrap this up. But again, thank you guys for the wonderful chat and stuff. And
No problem.
And yeah, accusing me of not playing the objective. I can't. I mean, we got.
That's a scoreboard. Don't lie.
We got stream evidence of it. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this. But anyway, I'll see you all soon, or maybe I won't, because, you know, Path of Exile 2, though. Or like, because, yeah, well, to be fair, no, I hope to see you guys in the chat as I play, and hopefully we can chat. And when I get to the end game, you know, as in past the narrative story bit, then I'll probably be in voice chat as I play, but not before then. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Once you're out of the unknown.
Yeah. So the way the early access is going to work is that they've got 3 of the acts of story. There will be 6 when the full game launches. But what they've done for early access is you will do the first 3 acts of story, and then you will redo those first 3 acts on a harder difficulty level, and then your character will be strong enough for the end game. When the game comes out fully, this second difficulty level is going to get deleted and replaced with Act 4, 5, and 6. So that's what's going to happen. And the reason why they did it like that is so that the people, you know, the more hardcore audience of fans, where, you know, that want to put hundreds of hours into the end game, actually have a deep enough end game to enjoy. Whereas the people that like to play these games more casually will do the acts of story and then leave because they're more casual. So
yeah,
they're trying to please 2 very different audiences, and I think they're doing it in a smart way. So
so I can't talk about Path of Exile because Well, those kind of games then never tend to grab me. But I'm sure everybody's gonna have loads of fun with it. Going
Oh,
back to the
yeah.
Yakuza thing though, right? I've always wanted. Apparently, Sega, there is a rumor that there is a certain Virtua Fighter 6 floating around in the ether somewhere. A new Virtua Fighter, right?
I'm
A
just gonna
actual new
highlight Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown on my PS5 because it is installed, and I mean there it is. And yes, I still haven't shut down the stream. Can I say bye and do that? Can we
Yeah,
just...
do that. You
All right.
say bye, say bye.
All
Yes.
right, bye everybody. But yeah, look, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is getting a free update soon, a Revo update. And get this, it's also coming to PC on Steam. I will be buying that version, seeing if it runs in crossover.
I will also be buying that version.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't it be hilarious if it runs on the Mac? I will be trying it through crossover. We'll see if it runs on the Mac.
I would love it. And
I will be so happy if it does. I'll be so happy if it does because rollback netcode. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye everybody.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye. Hope you've enjoyed the stream though. It's been a random one, but hey, always is. Bye.
Au revoir.